Hi, Rain Gang. We missed you. We got a lot to
We
talk
did.
about. I think something happened. Yesterday.
Something
I think.
big.
I think something happened that
Mm.
hasn't happened in 6 years.
Mm.
What could that be?
Did the Ravens win a playoff game
I think they did.
for the first time in over half a decade?
Did
Okay.
the did the Ravens hold the best running back in the league to 2.2 yards per carry?
41 yards.
What do we know?
I,
Hey,
honestly, man, I don't know.
did the Ravens come back from 10 points down? Something they haven't done since 2016? Did the
Hey,
Ravens
man,
play from behind and win? No. Did
can't be.
Lamar win a playoff game? No, there's no way.
Impossible.
There's no way.
Impossible. Come on
Right.
now.
But
Oh, my God.
what if I told you they did? And that's exactly what happened yesterday in Tennessee at Nissan Stadium. What is
Wow.
up? Purple Rain Podcast. We are back with episode 16 with Simply and Sutton. So welcome back.
Welcome back. Rain Gang is in full effect tonight already.
Oh,
We had
yes.
about 30 people waiting before we even started. So what's up to the Rain Gang, man? We got Devon
Yeah.
Johnson in here. We got Trevor Watson here. We got BNN Productions. We got God Baby Productions, who is now a mod. We got Fatal Storm Clan. Shout out to you for coming back, man. Y Jumper is in here. We've got Phineas Humphrey. What's up, Phineas? Our guy Rush, Truz,
Guy.
baby, on to Buffalo. I know that's right, man. Darius Simmons, Rain Gang, what's up, man? I'm gonna get through all of these, man. I'm telling you. The Pointful, Rain Gang, what's up, fellas? K Dog, we ate a dub.
You did?
I'm gonna get to the rest in a little bit. But K Dog, yeah, Zach George, what's up, guys? Christopher Swain, Void, all you guys, man. Shout out to the whole entire Rain Gang, man. You guys have come through in full effect tonight, and we got a good episode tonight, don't we, Alex?
We got a lot to talk about, not just Ravens, because some NFL news went down today. You know we're going to be covering that, and we got a big game tonight, college-wise. So we got
Absolutely.
a lot to talk about. But if you are new, like, sub, share, and follow us on Instagram. And look at that dope graphic. Look at that. The Purple
Right.
Rain Podcast. Follow us, because if you've missed it, we gave our live reactions during the game yesterday. I think they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I was laughing really hard when I think Lamar scored that touchdown, that running touchdown, and then I checked the story and like Alex is up there. He's like, they thought it was sweet, but it was really sour. Lamar
Yes.
Jackson with a 47-yard touchdown. I was like, oh man.
I lost
man,
my
that was
voice during
amazing.
that. That run, like, I was okay. We're gonna get the first down. It was a lot more than a first down, man. Oh man.
Yeah.
But
we
should we get right into it?
Yeah, let's get right into it. Why not?
Oh man. So, Ravens win 20-13. The narratives, writing them off. We did
Yeah.
it. Playoff game 1.
Absolutely. A playoff game 1, just real quick. KLA Sports says, my birthday is Friday, and this was the perfect gift. Next gift needs to be a Ravens victory in Buffalo. That's
Yeah.
right, man. We do need to, look forward to the Bills game this week. But for now, since it's Monday, you guys know what we do on Monday. We review.
Yes.
We celebrate, you know what I mean? Or we sulk in our losses. But we didn't lose. We haven't lost in like, what, almost 2 months now?
It's been since that Cowboys Tuesday night game, which I remember you saying that felt like a brand new season. You said after
It
that
did.
game, it felt like we turned a page, and I think we did.
I
Hey,
think we
you
did
did
too,
it
man.
again. You did it again. Called it.
Oh, man. Devon Johnson says the live reactions were fire. Thank you, bro. We appreciate that. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast. You can follow us individually as well. You can follow Alex Silverman here on Twitter at Alex Silverman _ or at simplyas10.prod on Instagram. And you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def.
Why not?
But like you said, man, let's get right into it. This game was it was a very good showing by the Ravens. It didn't start off all that great, and we'll talk about, the ups and downs of this game, but I just want to get your immediate takeaways from the game. We're actually going to break down a little bit of film tonight as well, what we liked, what we didn't like from the game, so stick around for that. That should be very fun. Of course, throughout the episode, throw in your questions, throw in your comments, your concerns about the Ravens, about the Rain Gang, about the NFL, about anything. And we're going to bring you guys' comments onto the screen, and we're going to answer you guys' questions and stuff like that. So, like I said, first, though, I want to ask you, and I want to ask the whole chat, what was the main things that you took away from this game? The biggest things.
We went down. We didn't panic. Greg Roman looked like a man that was that knew if you screw up here, it's over. You're going to Baltimore. And I texted you. I even put a tweet out. I said, GG. So after Lamar threw that pick and we go down 10-0, I'm like, here we go again. I'm like, it's over. I'm like, we've been down this road 2 straight years. It's over. My guy said, just calm down. There's a lot of ball left to play. We just need to get our momentum back, and that's what happened. So
when I tell you, man, I was like, I said we need one big play to put us back in this game, and we got that one big play, and we didn't look back from then.
What did you call it? The equalizer, I believe. Was that what
the equalizer?
That's what you called it.
The equalizer. That is Lamar Jackson. We got my boy Derek Ritter in here, who's also a mod now. He says, "What's up, bros? How about that performance yesterday? Hashtag Rain Gang. What's up, man? It was a great performance, but I'm gonna let you get back to your points."
Yeah,
Alex.
Shout out to all the mods too, doing their thing. We got some new ones, so thank you all. But it was just we went down and we didn't panic. JK wasn't doing his best in the beginning, but as the game went on, he looked good. And I remember I said it. There's 3rd down and shorts, 4th down and shorts. If we convert them, we'll win. And we converted them. And then we did the 3rd down and 2. Gus gets contact behind the line, gets a hole, gets through for a 1st down. So I'm like, okay, that's what we need. We just need this momentum. And we used Gus when it mattered most. When we needed those yards, he got those yards, even in the end of the game. And I'm wearing his jersey right now, Marquis Brown, because our soldier stepped up.
He did.
Playoff Hollywood is a different Hollywood. That is not the Hollywood we know. That's a different Hollywood. So I'm just really proud of the boys, and of course that defense. I mean, I don't want this to happen,
absolutely.
But Wink Martindale is the top 2. Him and Bieniemy should be the top 2 candidates. Forget Salah. Forget that. Wink has been doing this for years.
Yeah.
How he hasn't got I'm not mad he hasn't got a head coach call, but come on. That man should get one.
Absolutely. And, I'm sure he'll be taking tons of calls after our season is over. I don't really expect him to be back in Baltimore next season, but,
Sadly.
It is what it is. That sort of thing happens. The Chiefs are losing their offensive coordinator, too. So, you can only complain but so much. But, yeah, man. I mean, just big takeaways from this game. One big thing, of course, just right out of the gate, just the fact that we were down at one point in that game. And we were down 2 possessions. It was a 2-possession ball game, and we showed a lot of fight, a lot of resilience, and we showed that we can, like Peyton Elizabeth said, shout out to her. She says we can come from behind and win, and that's exactly what we did, man. And I'm just so proud of everybody in the Ravens franchise, from the coaches to the players. They all stayed disciplined. They all stayed hungry. They never, folded or anything like that, or just kind of gave up or wilted. And big shout out to Lamar Jackson as well. Because listen, man, he made plays in that game that literally turned the tide, and of course that I think the first play that really kept us in it was that 3rd and 7 at the end of the first quarter. When we're down 10 points, we're on the verge of, it's 3rd and long, so we're on the verge of putting the ball back to them, and they have an opportunity to go down the field and score again on us. So Lamar Jackson, as the first quarter dwindles down, he rolls out of the pocket. He's got a guy in his face,
all over him,
chasing him. I think it was Adoree Jackson.
It was one of their corners, because I know they brought him on the blitz, and it's not when he gets a defensive lineman. He's matched him speed. So
exactly, they matched speed. They had 5 DBs on the field for the majority of the game, so they could run east to west and catch Lamar, and that's what they were doing early in the game, and low key throughout the game, because it's not like Lamar was really just gashing them over and over again. Lamar was just being a playmaker, and that's how he ended up with the stat line that he ended with I think 137 yards rushing.
Yep.
But that play, though, that 3rd and 7 where he rolls out and he finds Mark Andrews at the last possible second, throws it on a rope to him, converts the 1st down, and then we go down and score on that very same drive. That was important. Lamar Jackson, and of course, the following, I think a couple plays later where he scored that rushing touchdown. So important, man. Lamar Jackson, shout out to him. Another big thing that I took away from the game was the Monstars. They showed up. They showed out, man. And every single dime that we put into that defensive line in the offseason was worth it. Every penny. You know, because when you take the 2,000-yard rushing leading champ at home, when you take him on at home and he only gets 40 yards rushing,
come on,
40 yards rushing. Come on, man.
Not even a rushing first down.
Not even a rushing first down. They didn't even get a rushing first down until the fourth quarter when I think Ryan Tannehill did the QB sneak. Yeah, exactly. So, wow, just big hats off to, you know, our defense, our offense, our coaches, just everybody a part of the Ravens organization. Shout out to you guys, man. Those are my biggest takeaways from the game. I want to, you know, bring up some of you guys' comments in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Void says our run defense is solidified. Our secondary is still iffy.
Yeah, Marlon didn't look good the first few drives. And actually, I want to get into the whole PI, not a PI. But speaking of the Monstars, how every dime we put into, you know, Calais, Derek Wolfe, Big Baby. I'm gonna go with our draft picks as well. Madubuike, Malik Harrison, Patrick Queen as well. Malik Harrison more than Patrick Queen, but the fact Harrison took Derrick Henry on, it was 1-on-1. And he's lowered the shoulder and took him down. And also, even before the game, Calais Campbell, you see that video of him kind of just jawing with the Titans players?
Yeah,
he was ready.
I did.
I love that.
I loved it too.
And I never saw that side of, because you always see like the big nice monster type of guy. He was pissed off yesterday. Pissed. Yeah. I love to see that.
Love to see that, man. It was amazing seeing you know, Calais Campbell get all our guys hype. Just him being. And he's an older guy. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, Calais Campbell, he's not like one of these young guns who's talking just to talk. Yeah. You know what I mean? Calais Campbell's out there. He's a seasoned veteran. If he's talking to you, that means he knows he's about to dominate you. You know what I mean? Like, it's all business. And that's what I love about Calais Campbell. And I think that's what we all love about him. A couple more things. Devon Johnson says Pernell Mcphee was an animal yesterday. Absolutely, man. Pernell Mcphee was relentless all game. Every quarter, it seemed like he was making a play, and then the camera was on him, and he was all hyped up and stuff like that. What do you think about Pernell McPhee's performance, man?
He played 20 snaps yesterday.
Yeah.
He had 6 tackles. That's crazy. He was, I'd say, probably the best player on the defense yesterday because he was making those plays. He went for Derrick Henry's legs. He slowed him down, and somebody else takes him on the top. So that's how you stop Derrick Henry. Don't go for the top, go for the bottom. So
yeah, absolutely.
Man, I'm so glad we brought him back. That's a Raven through and through right there.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Mark Lopez, shout out to you, man. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before, so welcome. Wow. Listen, if you are new, we've already got about 60 people watching right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you are new, you know, leave a like, maybe subscribe if you do enjoy our content, and we appreciate you guys. You know, follow us on Instagram too, right above my head at the Purple Rain Podcast up there.
Drop a comment too.
Yeah, drop a comment. Oh yeah, for you guys who are not watching this live, if you're watching after the fact, please leave a comment with any questions, concerns. We're gonna get to you guys too, just like we get to the people in the live chat. Yes. Mark Lopez, he says, I'm a Ravens fan, but I'm buying a Browns jersey if they win versus the Chiefs.
Oh.
See, that's another thing, man. I think I'm low-key going to be rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Browns.
Oh, I am. It's because I was telling my guy God Baby this, who's a Buccaneers fan, they get the Saints. I'm like, it's so rare that a team beats another team 3 times in one season. Yeah. I don't want that. And I actually wanted the Chiefs over the Bills because the Chiefs right now, they're going to be rusty. They're going to be unmotivated. They already won the Super Bowl last year. How do you motivate a team that's already won it? So I'm like, I would rather go into KC maybe because last year they went down 24-0 to a Bill O'Brien-led Texans team who choked it.
Yeah,
the Ravens did that. I think we would obviously give up some points, but I think we would hold on to it. But hey, like Calais Campbell said, you probably got to see Buffalo and Kansas City at this point. So
yeah,
just beat whoever's in front of you.
And honestly, I'd much rather see Kansas City in the playoffs, you know, on the road to a Super Bowl rather than playing the Browns. I feel like it would mean a lot more to us if we did get that monkey off of our back of not being able to beat the Chiefs, since we're already in the process of just getting monkeys off of our back one by one. You know what I mean? Those narratives. Oh, mic drop.
Right.
Narratives, mic drop. Let's see. Ewok Plays. He says, if we play like we did on the first drive of the second half, then we will beat the Bills. What happened on that first drive of the second half? I can't quite remember right now off the top of my head.
That was the drive where we just went down the field. Ricard had like 2 or 3 receptions.
Yeah, that drive.
That was
Yeah.
our best drive in the past 3 playoff games we've had. Just no mistakes, running it, short passes, really not forcing anything, and then JK just taking it in.
And you know what I think is interesting about that drive? I think that was like, and I think we said this last week on the show, that like Greg Roman is probably saving different plays, different, plays and stuff like that, play designs for the playoffs. And I think that we saw that yesterday, because that drive was just so schemed up and scripted, and everything was just working to perfection. You could tell the Titans really didn't have an answer for it because they didn't prepare for it. You know what I mean? So like, we may see more out of Greg Roman. Shout out to him. He's gotten, the pressure off of him for now. You know what I mean? He's gotten a lot of the heat taken off of him. So yeah, shout out to him. Let's see. We got a lot of people who are saying that Malcolm Butler is ass, or Malcolm Butler, just F him.
Fuck you, Malcolm Butler. Don't you ever give the middle finger to our QB, because he ran by your bitch ass afterwards. So
That he did. And very easily too. Let's see. I'll
tell you this. The team played for Harbaugh, because we talked about it. They better have that picture of them stomping or just jumping on our logo, and they remembered it. And who better than Marcus Peters to have that pick, because you knew he was going to do something. Yeah, I loved it. I loved every single second of it.
Every second of it, honestly. Let's see. Cameron Nichols, Hollywood is back. Marquise Brown out of the backfield. What did you think about those plays?
The second one, the Marquis saved Lamar, because that could have been a backwards pass fumble, but he kind of caught it with to his helmet.
On his helmet, yeah.
But I think if Lamar just throws a little bit, not as hard, but the first one worked perfectly. It was like 15 yards, and they had an encroachment on them, so I'm all for it.
Yeah,
we're utilizing his speed finally.
Yeah, and another thing that I took away from this game, speaking of Hollywood Brown, was just his fight and his courage in this game. He looked like a totally different player than we've seen him since we drafted him. He was catching the ball, he was turning upfield, looking to get more yards instead of finding his way out of bounds or trying to slide down or something like that. Like, no, he was actually getting more yards. He was inviting contact. He got taken down a couple times, but hey, that's a part of the game. I just love to see him be more physical and fight for those yardage. Like, it is a playoff game. You got to want it, and I think he proved that he does want it. So big shout out to him. And you, my friend Alex, you were so close to that prediction. He was supposed to have one more catch. He has 7 catches for 107, I believe. And you predicted 8 catches. So close, but that's pretty much right there. So shout out to you for being so close with that prediction.
I mean, Marquise Brown, dare I say it, he played like a soldier yesterday. I mean, he really did play like a soldier, because he got hurt, went out the game, got some fluids in him, and was right back in.
Yeah. I did remember he was shaken up a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he wanted to go right back in, got this liquids, and Lamar targeted him in the end zone, but I couldn't be more proud of him. Like, that was great. That's everything we've asked for. And he outperformed A.J. Brown receptions-wise and yards-wise, not touchdown-wise, but there's always been that the A.J. or the Marquise, and obviously A.J. has had the better career so far, but when it mattered yesterday, Marquise did his thing.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely did his thing. Chris Hall, he says, best Ravens channel in the business. If you don't think so, let's debate. Wow, we appreciate that, Chris. That is a huge compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's see, what else do we have here? 15 showed the hell up. Browns. A lot of you guys are taking the Browns over the Chiefs. You want the Browns to beat the Chiefs. Listen, guys, I get it, but at the same time, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I don't know if the Browns are the best. I mean, if they beat the Chiefs, I guess you could say that they're the best, but it's like, we got to beat the Chiefs.
I want Mahomes. I want him in Arrowhead. I'm telling you this right now. If my dream comes true and Averett picks him off to seal it, I'm buying lottery tickets. I don't know what. It has to happen. This has to happen.
Facts. Our guy Void, he says, "Did you guys see the play where Deshaun Elliott made Derrick Henry make a business decision when Deshaun was coming at him? He dodged and got out of bounds. Also, Tyree Phillips is greater than Derrick Henry."
Deshaun Elliott played his ass off yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I know you remember that play, Jonnu Smith. That was one of my keys, too. You cannot let Jonnu Smith score a touchdown against us. He did nothing against us.
Yeah.
There was a 3rd and 1, or 3rd and 2. Little dump off, check down to Jonnu Smith, and there comes Deshaun Elliott, and just what a tackle.
Cracked
Textbook.
him. And here's my thing, like Deshaun Elliott, when he makes hits, he doesn't make those type of hits where it's like he hits you and then he's got to wrap up and try to take you down, and you might get like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 extra yards in that process. No. When Deshaun Elliott hits you, you are going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, you are not gaining any more yards than you already have. Simple as that. Like Deshaun Elliott, he's a beast. He's not afraid. He pulls up on dudes. And that's what I love about him the most, man.
They had the king. We had the Joker. I mean,
yeah.
That was all it was.
Yeah. Joker was coming downhill all game. And that's something that you love to see. It was funny because I was actually showing a coworker of mine the play with Deshaun Elliott hitting Derrick Henry, in middle of the season or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, okay, who's that?" Because they didn't know who Deshaun Elliott was. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, just wait till Sunday and you'll see." And sure enough, Deshaun Elliott showed up making those hits just like, he does on doing that Joker celebration. That shit is so fucking cool, man. I love it so much.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Let's say number 29, Earl Thomas, is back there. I think we lose the game because that was a crucial 3rd down.
Ooh, that's a good point. We might, because I feel like Earl Thomas might sit back there a little bit longer than Deshaun Elliott, and he wouldn't, necessarily pull up until it was probably a little bit too late. So you're probably right about that. Let's see. Our guy NFL Productions, he says Corvette.
Corvette.
Oh, man. Shout out to the Steelers. We'll talk about them. Remember, guys, this is a video reviewing the entire NFL wildcard weekend, the super wildcard weekend, if you will. But of course, we're going to focus in on our Baltimore Ravens. We're going to get to the film study here in just a minute before, right after I get to a couple of you guys' comments in here. Devon Johnson, in response to you, Alex, he says, Earl Thomas is getting walked. You know that.
Yep. I mean, he wasn't bad for us, but I just think he wasn't a Ravens type player. To be a Ravens player on that defense, you got to be physical. Got to just go and hit somebody in their throat, and that's not who he was. I mean, I wish him the best of luck, but there's a reason why he's not on the team right now.
Facts. Let's see here. We had a couple people saying, Y Jumper says Lamar needs to get rid of the ball faster, and if he doesn't see anything, he needs to run. Peyton Elizabeth kind of adding on to that. She says Lamar's pocket awareness is usually great, but against the Titans, it did look a little bit iffy, and it definitely did, especially in that first half.
To add on to that, Tyree Phillips should not see the field. I'm sorry. I've tried to give him a chance, but there was that play yesterday where he got blown up by like their 3rd or 4th string linebacker. He got blown up so hard back into Lamar. I honestly think we need to. I don't know what we're gonna do with Zeus. I mean, he'll go back to right tackle, but I think we might have started thinking about life after Orlando Brown Jr. So I wouldn't be surprised if we draft a right tackle pretty high next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that either, bro. Let's see. Okay. Ewok plays. He brings up something that we're going to bring up here in just a minute.
Okay.
And Brian DeRosa, just to kind of recap what you were saying before. Shout out to Brian DeRosa, by the way. He says, what were you guys thinking after the Lamar pick in Q1? Man, after that first pick, I think I texted you right after, and I said, "Well, here we go," or something like that. And I tweeted, I was like, well, it's going to be one of those games, I see. I was discouraged, but I knew that there was a lot of football left to be played. And again, and I think I said this on last episode, you got to put yourself in Lamar's shoes in that situation. Down 10, just through an interception, what are you going to do? Your back's up against the wall that early in the game. What are you going to do? So I had all the confidence in the world that Lamar Jackson would step up and make a play. That's why I knew we weren't out of it at that point, but I knew that we were going to have to erase some narratives. Listen, guys, we've been facing adversity and fighting adversity all season long. So it was nothing new. But what about you? What were you thinking, bro?
I thought it was over. I'm not going to lie. I sat here. I was like, because he forced it. It's kind of like when you're playing Madden and you're down. It's like, it's man coverage. Let me just throw it up and hope I get it. And he got picked off. I'm like, yeah, it's that type of game. And of course, Malcolm Butler. So I'm like, their defense is going to be already hyped up. But I'm just happy they fought out of it, because that is what you have to do in the playoffs, because they know it's one and done. I mean, you can play amazing, lose by 1 point, and you're out of it. So I'm just glad that narrative has been erased, and let's move on to the next game.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, look, if you're watching live right now, we got almost 70 people watching live. Shout out to all of you guys who are here live right now. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and follow us on Instagram. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Beautiful family we got going on here that we're building here. Listen, the Rain Gang, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could help us out and you're not subscribed yet, please give us a sub. And we're going to have more Ravens and NFL content coming your way in the future. But yeah, when we see you guys in the chat, gang, Rain Gang, shout out to you guys. We love you guys so much. We're going to get into some film analysis here. So me and Alex were talking earlier today. And we kind of figured that it would be a good idea from this game. And, I think all of our games going forward, this would be a good idea. In our review videos, we're going to do a little segment that, we're kind of trialing it right now. But let's call it Beware and Behold. So it's basically a segment where we talk about the things that we did like from the game. Like, oh, behold this beautiful play from Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, whoever. Or beware this play from our defense where we gave up, a first down or, a crucial catch or something like that. A touchdown. We're going to be breaking down these plays. Busted coverage, exactly. We're going to be breaking down these plays. Let's see. And Christopher Swain says, let me see what y'all know in this film study. I'm eager to see what y'all see. Yeah, man, and listen, guys, we're not of course, professionals, breaking down film and stuff like that. And that's, I think the whole point of this podcast is actually from a Ravens fan's perspective, what we see in the game, and what we think is going to make us better. That's what we're going to be breaking down and looking at here. So let's see. And I actually have my guy Alex's his Beware and his Behold up first. So this first one here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you guys can see as well. I'm going to be looking at the all 22 footage here. So
mine is more or less, it's not really looking at film. It's kind of just for me, what we did wrong, kind of just mental errors on mine, on my Beware. It is just the mental error. I'll set the scene for you. We're in the 2-minute drill. I believe it was 10-10. Yeah, So there's 19 seconds left, 10-10. Was it the second down or the third down? I'm not too sure.
It was third down, 3rd and 23.
I believe. Is this the one where he threw it to JK, right?
Yes, I believe
Lost
so.
At 6 yards? Yeah, okay.
So, let's go ahead and play this clip back. Let's see what happened. And let me know anytime you want me to pause and freeze it, bro. Alex, just let me know, okay?
I got you.
So this play, like we said, is 3rd and 23. I think he's going to give it to J.K. Dobbins. Let's just see what happens here.
So right now it's frozen on my screen. I can't see it going. Okay, no. So I wanted the play before this. The play before this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It was the screen. It was the busted screenplay, where it was not too sure when it was, but I do know it. Yeah, right there. 1st and 10. There we go. The pass short left to J.K. Dobbins for -6 yards.
Okay. Here we go.
So I'm at this point, I'm okay, we can drive down the field, maybe get 3 points and get the lead before halftime because we get the ball back. So getting those 3 points and then getting the ball back would have been huge. So right here, I'm okay, you don't see anything. Throw it at his legs. But he throws it right to J.K., lost to 6 yards, and the clock's running. So this is more not really film for me. It's just a mental error that I think we could have avoided because I just don't get this. There was really no point in just dumping it off. Just throw it at his feet.
Yeah, that was definitely, and we'll take another look at that again because when I saw that in real time, I'm just thinking to myself why? Why would you? Lamar didn't even look even remotely athletic on that play.
Yeah,
you guys can see it here. He just kind of steps up. It's get it to JK. But there was nothing there the whole time. There was nothing there.
And we were at midfield, so I'm there still was the chance, 2nd and 10 with 30-some seconds. We can hit Mark Andrews, hit Marquise Brown hit Des Bryant. So
Yeah.
that really angered me. 'Cause I just felt we left points on the board right there because we could have drove down the field.
Absolutely, absolutely. We could have, man, and that's something that like mental errors like that, we have to kind of clean that up going forward
Especially in the
in the
playoffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And a lot of people see it. Yeah, where he flicked it to JK, that was terrible. That was just terrible, terrible play. Hopefully, we don't see much more of that going forward in the playoffs because, listen, I think I said it the other week, or you said it, one of us said it. Execution needs to be perfect in these playoff games, especially given our offense. And I know it was late in the second half, but the first half and everything like that. But hey, man, we need to do better than that. We need to execute a little bit better. But moving on here to your second play that you wanted to bring up. This one it took place 10:52 left in the fourth quarter, I believe.
Yes, it was Derrick Henry run for 8 yards.
Okay.
Now you're probably gonna think, okay, it was his longest rush of the day, but to me, this was kind of not foreshadowing, but kind of just what we did right in this game versus Week 11 and the playoff game from last year.
Right.
So, in Week 11 overtime, Derek Wolfe after the game said he missed his gap.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry took it for 6, and that won them the game. So you can just roll this for me, please.
All right.
All right. They get the man in motion. So, right, Henry hits his hole, and he has nothing but green in front of him. If he gets past that hole, he's gone. We've seen it before. But
so just another look at it here.
Yeah.
Pay attention. You can see Derek Wolfe is right here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor there, but that's where Derek Wolfe is. So you'll see what happens here. Runs through the gap, but like you said, man, Derek Wolfe.
Yeah, and he missed that in Week 11. And after he put the whole loss on him in that press conference after the game, and I love that because although that was Derrick Henry's longest run of the game,
yeah,
I mean Derek Wolfe stepped up when it mattered, and that's why we got him. So I love seeing that because, like I said, if he gets past that, nobody's catching up to him. I don't care who's there because you're not gonna one person will take him down at full speed.
Oh yeah, definitely not. But like you said before, man, shout out to the Monstars who were just there all day, all afternoon, just did not let Derrick Henry breathe for the most part. And as you guys know, he only had 40 yards rushing, but it was plays like that. And Peyton Elizabeth, she says, "Oh wow, that would have been 6 if Wolf would have missed that again." And that's why I'm really glad that you brought that up, Alex, because that's something that we just need to be better on. He hit that gap, he did, but Derek Wolfe, he really made up for it. So shout out to him. Hopefully next time, gratefully, we don't have to play any more running backs like Derrick Henry in the playoffs. Who are we going up against? Devin Singletary?
Because Zach Moss is out for the rest of the playoffs. But that play, it was 17-13 with like 9-10 minutes left. If he scores a touchdown, it's 20-17, a whole new game. Their crowd's going crazy. And shout out to those fans. There was 21,000 Titans fans there, and it sounded like a full packed stadium. So I know it's kind of good that our guys got a win too in the hostile setting.
Yeah, absolutely. And just showing that play one more time. I believe this is a different play. This is actually the next play. Let's see. I just want to see one more time with not Derrick Henry, but Derek Wolfe, just the things that he did on that play. Derek Wolfe, I think, is probably the most underrated Raven, if I'm being honest with you. I think he led the team in tackles yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And that is huge against a Tennessee team of this caliber. So just one more time, just big shout out to Derek Wolfe, everything that he did in this game. We'll actually watch the broadcast footage of this one because you can see really how he burst through the hole and still was able to bring him down. Nope. You love to see it, man, because like you said, that would have been a touchdown, and that really would have changed the game. 100%. That really would have changed the game, 100%. So that is the beware and behold from my guy, Alex. I'm going to get into just a couple of mine here. My first one here was the A.J. Brown touchdown, the only touchdown that they scored in the game. I want to kind of break this play down, show you guys what I was looking at, why I did think we got scored on this play.
Controversial. Okay.
It was controversial. Now, in terms of the whole pass interference, could they have called it? Yes. But am I mad that they didn't? No. Reason being is because there was a lot of hand fighting going on. We know Marlon Humphrey is a hand fighting, type of corner, very physical, likes to, touch his receiver that he's guarding a lot, and sometimes he draws penalties for doing that. But AJ Brown is just different, man. He's too big, he's too strong, and 8 times out of 10, Marlon Humphrey is probably going to lose that battle just because of size. Listen, they're the same size, like height wise, but weight wise, AJ Brown's got him beat. So you'll see on this play, and I don't know, can you guys see? Can you see?
I can't see the play yet. No.
Okay. All right. Cool. I got you. Got you. Here we go. So, 2nd and 11. Ball is on the 11. And you guys can see here that the Titans are getting ready to run this play. So just right off the bat here, you can see how they kind of changed their formation here, and you see who's guarding who. Yeah. I'm going to just pause it right here. You guys can see up here that Marlon Humphrey is on AJ Brown, man to man, and you'll see what happens. Just notice, I want you guys to take notice of one thing, just how close Marlon Humphrey is to AJ Brown before this play kicks off. And then watch what happens. So they line up. And I'm actually going to slow it down here. So he hikes it. Marlon Humphrey is close enough to AJ Brown where AJ Brown can put a move on him and get to the outside. That's what he did. And he can use his size and leverage that way and get the ball over the top. That's exactly. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill because he knew what was going on. He read it the entire way, and he was able to get the ball into AJ Brown's hands. Now, just, spinning it back, watching it one more time, guys. You guys can see right off the bat how close Marlon Humphrey is lined up on AJ Brown. I would have liked to see him back up just a little bit more because we saw this even earlier in the drive. AJ Brown was beating him with that first step, with that first move, and if you're too close to a defender, you're going to get beat with that,
Even in the first game, he was beating
Even
Marlon.
in the first game. Exactly. Yeah. So I would have liked to see Marlon give him a little bit more space, let him get that move. Don't let him get that leverage around you like you can see right here. It happens again. So watch. Boom. That move right there that allows AJ Brown to get to the outside. It allows Tannehill to get the ball to the outside. And Marlon Humphrey, of course, he's looking for the penalty there. And there was a push off. There was definitely a push off. I don't think there's any doubt about that in anybody's minds. But Marlon Humphrey's got to be better right there. Jam him at the line. Let him make his move and then jam him, Don't let him make his move first. So that was my first one, man. I really wanted to see Marlon Humphrey perform a little bit better against AJ Brown in that, but so that was my first one, and I'll get into my second one. First, let me just look at the chat a little bit.
I'm excited to see what your behold play is.
Yeah, actually, that is a very, very good one. Darius Simmons, just real quick, addressing the chat. He said it was a bad call, BS call, PI. Got to let him fight it out in the playoffs. We got away with a key one for our Super Bowl win.
I get that, but it's like, if you want to call offensive PIs, be consistent with it. If you're going to call the one on Willie Snead, you got to call the one on AJ Brown. That's my issue. No, just be consistent. Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's so hard to be consistent when these referees at the end of the day, they're all human and they're all making judgment calls,
Yeah.
And it's just it's the same thing with they didn't give us that offensive PI in the beginning of the game, but they called offensive PI on us and Willie Snead at the end of the game. When we got that first down, that probably would have sealed the game a lot earlier. So it goes back and forth. I would have liked to see us get that call early in the game, but hey, we didn't.
I rewatched the game. Yeah. The ref who threw that flag wasn't even looking at Willie Snead. He was looking at J.K. Dobbins. I don't know how he saw it, but I was like, okay. And he just waited to throw it too. I was like, hey, man, refs be refs, but the NFL refs are very inconsistent sometimes. Yeah. So and it was a 4th and 2. I would love to see that on the wire, the Ravens wired, because that right there would be up there with the Seahawks going for it. Because I was like, just take the 3. I'm like, because it makes it 7 points, but it was 17-13 at that time, and we got the first down. But hey, we won. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man. I actually have one more beware play, if that's okay with you, Alex.
Of course.
I actually I forgot about this play, but I did want to show you guys this one as well. This was actually in the first quarter as well. It was a 3rd and 1, and we were on defense. So we just needed to get off the field here. The ball was on, I believe, their 37. So they were on their side of the field. We just needed to get off the field there. And I see Peyton says, look at Izzy giving the refs the benefit of the doubt. LOL, I respect it, but screw them. Yeah. I mean, I gave them the benefit of the doubt there, but hey, it is what it is. Screw the refs. We might need them later on in the playoffs. So
my thing with the refs, before this, I feel like I see it in a lot of sports. No disrespect, but I feel like they should be a little bit younger because some of them are up there in age. Like, you can't even keep up with the damn play. I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers, but that's just how I feel. It's like, how are you not going to be physically up to date and make these calls and run with these players if you can't even run 10 yards without going out of breath? That's just
man. Your mind really, to be a referee in the NFL or any professional sport, your mind needs to be sharp as a tack.
Exactly.
And I don't doubt that these older guys, just because they've been doing it for so long, I don't doubt that they're smart individuals, that they're aware of what's going on. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, they are getting older. They're older guys. A lot of them have gray all over their head. It's like, they're going to be missing some things. They're going to be missing some things. And that's just what happens when you get older. So I don't know. I would like to see, a younger referee crew sometimes in the games, because I feel like they would get more things right. And I feel like they would be more progressive with the game. You have these referees who have been reffing for years and years and years. And the game has changed so much over the years, I feel like you need new referees in place in order to go with the change, Adapting is good. So, but I'm going to get into my other beware play here, guys. Okay. Thank you guys for sitting in here and listening and watching our film study. We appreciate all of you guys for, watching live right now. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. This is the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 16. All right.
16.
I know, right? We're getting old. Let's see.
Like those refs in the NFL.
Right, exactly. So here's the next play, guys. Like I said, it's a 3rd and 1. Alex, can you see?
Not up yet. It's not up.
Well, you see the scoreboard, or no?
No.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. It's coming up now. All right, I see the scoreboard.
So you guys can see it's a 3rd and 1. The ball is on their own 37. About 4 minutes left in the first quarter. We're down 7. So let's look at how we're lined up here. You guys can see that they have 2 in the backfield. I believe it's Derrick Henry and then McNichols on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. And you guys will see what happens on this play here. I'm just going to play it all the way through.
Oh, I know. It's a little laggy, but I know exactly.
Okay. So I'm gonna pause it on the point where I want you guys to see. But you guys saw right there, Ferkser, their tight end, got 37 yards on that play or something like that, which was ridiculous and should have never happened. But if you can see right here, we have our linebackers. This is Patrick Queen. Mm-hmm. And then we also have, I believe this is Chuck Clark right up here.
Yeah.
So you guys can see what happens when the play starts. I'm going to pause it right here. So right here, you can notice Ferkser is running across the middle of the field towards the bottom half of your screen. And Patrick Queen is responsible for this zone right here in the middle of the field. Now, Patrick Queen, where he messes up is that he spends a little bit too much time keeping his eyes in the backfield on Ryan Tannehill. And he he just kind of misses that Ferkser is coming out of the slot right here and running across the middle of the field. So I'm just going to play it back from the beginning one more time just so you guys can see.
I'm glad you mentioned how this happens. This play's been kind of living in my head rent free, not going to lie.
Yeah, man, me too. So when I saw it, I knew I had to break it down a little bit. But you guys can see here, just again, Ferkser's up here on the top of the screen. He's going to cut over towards the middle of the screen, and you're going to see what Patrick Queen does, the mistake that he makes. So Patrick Queen, he starts off, and like I said, he's responsible for this middle zone, middle of the field type zone right here. And he gets caught looking at Tannehill a little bit too much. And it's about right here in the play where he's shifting his weight to the right side of the field. Yeah. Well, to the top half of the field. But Ferkser is, getting momentum towards the bottom half of the field. So Ferkser is going to easily run right by Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen is going to be left chasing because he took the wrong steps. He was focusing on Tannehill in the backfield just a little bit too long, and it allowed Ferguson to get wide open across the middle and get a very big gain right here. You guys can see, and there was nothing that Patrick Queen could do about it. But that's something from a rookie linebacker that, you would hope can be fixed.
100%.
And we've seen Patrick Queen make some, small mental errors on different levels. Maybe not all of them small, some of them kind of big. But you can see what he did right there. He made that shift to the left when he should have been moving the opposite direction in order to keep up with Ferguson and take away that option from Ryan Tannehill, because the pass rush was almost there too. Pass rush almost got home. So that was my other beware. What did you think about that play though, bro? Real quick though, Keeping It Real says, what's going on, guys? What's up, man?
Yo.
Yeah, we got a little bit of film study going on right now. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, so cool.
I feel like that's something we'll see Patrick Queen get better with next year. I mean, when he has that preseason, when he has, I think stuff like that, you kind of, I guess, it's hard to learn over Zoom. I mean, coming from me in college, like it's really hard for me to kind of stay focused on. No, football is a whole different thing, but some things like that, you probably just need like that physical or just that in-person learning. So I definitely expect him to get better with it as the time goes on. But if he can, he can get to the quarterback. His speed, I mean, I think about the Week 11 game where he laid that hit on Tannehill, which led to the Ty Spouser interception. And then he made a few plays, getting to Henry. Or he'll miss his gaps too sometimes, or miss his holes. So I just think something he'll learn with time. And we're losing our linebackers coach, which is going to suck for him. So hopefully we hire someone who's at that caliber, or maybe even higher.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay Bird, shout out to Jay Bird. He says, look at Humphrey, hunt him down though. That was a plus to the play. He was furthest away from the play and still ended up coming up with that tackle. That is true, Jay Bird. It's a good point there. I feel like Marlon Humphrey, he felt like he had some making up to do after getting bagged on by A.J. Brown in that first, I think that second Titans drive. So, yeah, but let's see. Yeah, let's see. True safety. Okay, Rob Wilson.
Even Humphrey.
Safety, yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched Marlon Humphrey's victory Instagram lives. He said they had him in the first half, not going to lie.
I did see his Instagram live, yeah.
He stepped it up in the second half. But those are always like my highlights of just those victory Sundays. Just going on Instagram, seeing what they're doing.
Didn't get to see Lamar in that one.
I think he was on a different plane yesterday. I'm not too sure. 'Cause usually he's in them.
J.K. Dobbins was on a different plane too, apparently.
Yeah. I was just happy we saw Marcus Peters. That was the only one I cared about.
Marcus case pending Peters.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna get into my Behold film analysis of the night. So this is what a play just kind of highlighting something really good that did happen in the game. I'm gonna highlight our defense here, guys.
Okay.
And
all defense
specifically, all defense for me today. Specifically our defensive line. So on this play, I'm just kind of set the scene for you. You guys can see it is 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. There's about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. At this point, we are down 7-0. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and run this for you guys, and we'll see what happens. So this is just like a testament to our defensive line, right? And just shutting down Derrick Henry and what we did all day, sort of. So you guys can see what happens on this play here. I'm just going to let it run through, and then I'm going to break it down for you guys. Yeah. So just a stop for a 1 yard gain. We're going to see it from a different angle here. And this is actually the much better angle. And here's what I'm going to break it down. So you guys can see right here. Yeah, this is where Derrick Henry, he's going to try to take this gap up here. And our guy, Justin Madubuike. Alex, can you see my cursor or no?
I can see your cursor. Yep.
Okay, cool. So that means they can see it. So you see Justin Madubuike, number 92, is lined up right here. He's actually going to get double teamed right off of the when the play snaps, and you'll see what happens. He never gives up on the play. He fights through the double team, and he ends up taking Derrick Henry down for only a gain of 1 yard. So I'm just gonna let it play through here. All right, right there, you can see he's swallowed up. You can't even see Madubuike at this point. 72 and number 76 have Justin Madubuike totally swallowed up. He never gives up on the play, though. You can actually see Patrick Queen is right here. He's about to crash down inside to try to, fill up that gap on Derrick Henry. So shout out to him for doing that, because it draws 76 off of that block, and it allows Madubuike to get free. And you'll see what happens here in the next second or two. So yeah, you see 76. He goes to the next level to try to block Patrick Queen. That allows Justin Madubuike to, like he never gave up on the play. That allowed him to fight through that block. And actually, you can see where he's at right now. Look at where Derrick Henry's at and look where Madubuike's at. Madubuike is about to have a clear lane to tackle Derrick Henry. So that gap in the middle that was there just about a half a second ago is vanished. It's gone. And now you'll see what Derrick Henry has to do. He has to bounce it out towards the left-hand side. And what did I say last week? We want to get Derrick Henry shuffling his feet in the backfield so he cannot get ahead of steam. And that's exactly what we did on this play here.
Man.
So you can see he gets pushed into the left side of our line. And there's guys just all around right here. And the guy that you see actually right here, if I'm not mistaken, that is our good... I don't think that's Derek Wolfe right there.
I'm not too sure that is.
Nope, that's Jihad Ward. That's our good friend Jihad Ward there.
He had a game too.
He had a game. Super underrated Raven, man. Just show you one more time is just exactly how this play went down. Beautiful by Justin Madubuike. Beautiful by Jihad Ward as well.
The fact Madubuike was a 3rd round pick.
Yes.
He's got to be. He has to have like his initiation to the Monstars soon. Because he's been playing at such a high level since we needed him, since Brandon Williams got COVID, got hurt, Calais Campbell COVID and hurt. So,
right.
Shout out to Madubuike stepping up.
Shout out to Madubuike. But listen, we're not done. We're not done. Very next play.
Done yet? I think we ain't done yet.
Very next play, ensuing play, 2nd and 9. They only gained 1 yard on the last play on 1st down. So this is 2nd and 9, 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Watch what happens on this play. This is like an obvious passing situation here. Obviously, they're going to pass it. This is 2nd and 9. Watch. Tannehill drops back. Oh, pass gets batted down. By who? By who was that?
Was that
Let's look at it again. Let's look at it again. Let's watch again. That was our guy. Number 92, Justin Madubuike, making back-to-back plays. The 3rd round rookie. Would you look at that, man? Making back-to-back plays like that. So just big shout out to him. Devon Johnson says, 92 playing like a veteran out there. Absolutely, man. He was just going crazy. Absolutely. Just a huge
I remember
steal.
When I posted his highlights when he got drafted, I had A&M fans like, you guys got a dog. And I was like, I hope so. And he's definitely came in. Doesn't even look like a rookie out there. No training camp, no preseason. He's came in, done his thing. And that's a big, big help from, Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, just, kind of taking them under their wing. And I'm looking at Broderick Washington, too. Hopefully he can step up next year because he's been inactive in a couple of our games.
Yeah, absolutely. But just, like I said, you can't play any better defense than we did yesterday, especially outside of those first couple drives for the Titans. Like, first drive, we went out, we stopped them. They went 3 and out. We got the ball back. We didn't do anything with it. Then they came back. They scored. After they got to 10 points, that was it for them. No, they scored the 3 points after that because it was 20 to 13.
Like a 25-yard field goal from Gostkowski.
Yeah, but we had 17 unanswered points in that game.
Yeah.
Jesus. Real quick, shout out to Engraven Videos. I see him in the chat there. What's up, man? Engraven was working real hard yesterday. We saw he was live streaming like all day, came on like 4 or 5 videos.
I hope you saw his live stream reactions. That's my number one thing. Got to check those reactions out because I know how I am, and I'm not even on camera. So the fact you're on camera and you get your live, I would hate to have my reactions on camera because I'd be a meme. I really would be. Because I'll be honest, when Marcus Peters picked it off. When Stephon Diggs scored that touchdown in the Minneapolis Miracle, he kind of he almost cried. That was me. I was like, I got choked up because just hearing everything about like the Ravens and Lamar, I was like, that's my team. And then, man, shout out to you. He definitely was working his ass off yesterday. Sheesh.
Oh yeah, he was definitely working very, very hard. So shout out to Engraven Videos. If you guys are not already subscribed to him, which you should be already, of course, make sure you go subscribe to him as well.
Come on,
all Ravens fans definitely subscribe to Engraven Videos. Best in the business. Shout out to him. Dr. Didi, I hadn't seen you in here. What's up, man? Welcome back. Let's see. So, Peyton says, I screamed so loud when Marcus Peters intercepted the ball at the end. That was an awesome play.
I was waiting for the flag. I'm like, where's the illegal contact? You
I
know it's
know,
coming.
just something. Apparently, Marcus Peters he got away with like a little bit of a grab or something on that play, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to the refs, right? Shout out to the refs.
Hey.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Marcus Peters interception, like our good friend Deshaun Elliott says, walk in your trap, take over your trap, because that's what we did.
Absolutely.
I loved the whole stomping on the. I mean, I don't really condone some of that, but I was all for it. I wanted that. I needed
Let's
that.
talk about that. Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about the whole celebration at the end of the game. Okay. Our big payback that we got on the Titans. Did you think that it was sportsmanlike? Did you think it was warranted? Should we have done it? Should we have not have done it? Should we have done it in a different way? Should we have waited till the end of the game? What did you think about that whole celebration?
I don't know. I want the chat. Say
sound off in
yes
the chat.
Or you agree? No, if you don't agree. Yes, big yes. They deserved it. The Titans. I'll tell you why. Jeffrey Simmons last year spit some Marciano's face. All right. Then he had a legal late hit that wasn't called. I actually put on Twitter, I believe, last Friday or Thursday. I was rewatching the divisional game. And it was Lamar was going down. He's already down. Jeffrey Simmons, just falls, elbow right into Lamar's helmet. Nothing called. The way Kevin Byard and Mike Vrabel were acting after Lamar threw that pick last year against them, with the whole, he didn't even grab his horse collar. He grabbed his helmet. Don't know why they called it a flag. I guess because it was close to the helmet. I get that. And then this year, Mike Vrabel was telling John Harbaugh, go coach a game. Vrabel, go win a Super Bowl as a coach. All right. And get your team, take care of them, because I only respect a few Titans players. Derrick Henry is one of them. But besides that, that was warranted. They deserved every single bit of it. Notice how none of them stood up for their team. None of them. If a team came to the Ravens and they disrespect the logo like that, I'm pretty sure somebody would have, went out there and done something. But the 100% warranted. I agree. I really wish Mark Ingram was kind of suited up for that, because he would have been out there dancing with them.
Oh yeah. And it was just like the way that they did it too, right? Like just. Oh my, it just felt like so many emotions were just let loose like at that moment. It was a beautiful thing to see. Just real quick, because I want to show you guys that play.
Please.
Of what happened. That was just, it was amazing, man. Just watching
it felt
that
like a
happen
college game. That stuff happens, like the whole Baker Mayfield when he played Kansas, they didn't shake his hand, or they'd get their flag and put it on their middle of the field. It felt like that college atmosphere. And we talked about, this was like one of the biggest games for us, and we went out there, we put it all on the line, and we got the dub.
We did.
Man, that was like the cherry on top, disrespecting their logo.
Literally, it was the cherry on top. Now, so let me go ahead and show you guys this play again. We'll watch the broadcast, view of it, so you guys can hear it as well, because that just makes it that much sweeter. So here we go here.
And we can hear it, just letting you know.
Okay, cool. Oh, shoot. I messed up. Maybe I'm not used to the whole NFL Game Pass thing. I feel like they need to optimize this a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah. It's really hard getting clips too. Like
it really is. All right, but here we go.
Second and 5. Tannehill steps and fires and is intercepted. It's Marcus Peters who makes the play.
And you just see like after. They all just flock towards the field. They all flock towards the middle of the field and just go crazy.
My favorite was Deshaun Elliott and Anthony Averett. They literally got up and just started they had something on the bottom of their cleat, started wiping it. Oh, I loved it.
Just looking at it again. I love the little jump, the spinning of the ball by Marcus Peters. Then Marcus Peters just leaves. Marcus Peters just runs off.
Queen waving goodbye to them. That's a rookie, just waving goodbye their sideline. Man.
Oh my goodness, man! And then we got a 15-yard penalty for that celebration.
Fully warranted. I get that it could have hurt us, and then when Lamar ran around the side and then kind of slid, he pointed at somebody. He
did.
I love that.
He did. that was amazing too.
He was playing with a glove on his left hand. I was like, I didn't know what was up with that. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he had a glove on his left hand, maybe to catch the snaps, but Makari looks fine with his snaps.
Oh,
I'm not too sure what that was about, but maybe Glove Lamar is like the headbandless LeBron, a different beast.
Maybe. You never know. I want to talk about that touchdown run that Lamar Jackson had really quick.
Okay.
But because that was a run that I feel like a lot of people they're not giving it the credit that it deserves.
No.
Because that was truly an amazing run. But before I get to that, I want to bring up a comment here from my personal friend Cal. She says, from a Steelers fan to a Ravens fan, congrats y'all. I'm so happy to see Lamar win a playoff game so people can stop slandering him. We appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
Cal.
Thank
Very
you.
humble Steelers fan, very good friend of mine personally as well. Yeah, shout out to you, Cal.
I'll be honest, I was rooting for the Steelers yesterday. I wanted them to win, you know? That just I feel like just having the, kind of just the whole storylines,
Yeah.
Bills,
honestly.
Steelers again, Ravens, Chiefs, like that's two teams that, they played each other in the regular season and they AFC North lost those games. I would love to see maybe we flip the script and get the Ravens Steelers AFC Championship match, but fortunately we couldn't.
Yeah, and just real quick, back to the whole celebration thing. My personal opinion and thoughts on it. The celebration was absolutely warranted, just because of all of the sum of all of those things that you brought up to me that happened last year, that happened this year. Listen, even just the Tajay Sharp after last year's playoff game. Oh, big trust, whoop whoop, all that gloating, all that stuff, man. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, so they deserved it in every way.
That happened 1 year ago today. That game was 1 year ago today.
Oh.
I got the memory on Snapchat, and I'm like, the pain. But
anguish.
yesterday, it makes up for it.
Yeah.
And then that's lived in my head run free the whole Tajay Sharp. He was like, King Henry in the flesh. Like, bro, you're on the practice squad of the Chiefs, man.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right. So before we get into you guys' questions, real quick, I want you guys to put your questions in the comment section because we're going to get to all of the questions that are in there right after we watch this Lamar Jackson run. So this is the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 16. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already and you are enjoying the content. Join the Rain Gang. That's what it says in the top left up there. Join the Rain Gang. We love our family here. We're going to keep it moving for you guys, though. Lamar Jackson, he scored how many yards was it? It was like 47 yards or something like that?
47, like to 49. I know it was less than 50. And
yeah.
He made the Titans defense look like schoolyard kids.
Like
honestly.
bad. Like really bad.
He was playing football at recess, and there was nobody catching him.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see here if I can find this freaking play. Here we go. All right, so this play here, everybody knows, 3rd and 9. I'm about to bring it up on the screen for you guys now so we can see. And I know that other game has just popped off, the Bama versus Ohio State game.
I just turned it on, so
okay.
I'll be having it up in the background in case anything happens.
Cool. We'll keep you guys updated on that. But here we go. So you guys can see here, our guy, Lamar Jackson. It's 3rd and 9. Just look at this shot right here, man. Just look at it, man. Can you imagine if you were an NFL quarterback?
Okay. It's frozen for me right now.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet. Okay. But just Lamar Jackson, in the biggest moments, he just seems to like he's so calm, he's so poised, he's so collected, and he's only 24. Like he's still a kid. Like he's still among the best quarterbacks in the league. He's the youngest, he's the youngest of the best, which says a lot, honestly. Younger than Joe Burrow, which is crazy, right? So I'm going to show you guys this play. 3rd and 9, we've all seen it, but I just want you guys to see the second gear that Lamar gets into to beat everybody around the edge. So just watch.
3rd and 9.
3rd and 9.
Big play here.
Huge play. Steps up. And right here, where he's just like, no, nobody else is catching me.
Look, there's 3 people in front of him.
Bro, listen, so watch this. I'm going to pause it. Right here. Ah, shoot. I didn't pause it in time. But here, you guys can see. Watch.
I mean, I'm cool with watching it multiple times. Who cares? Great
of
play.
course. It was a great run.
Greatness.
So right here, pause it right there. When he beats this defender that's behind him at this point, Lamar Jackson makes a business decision like, hey, my team's down a touchdown. It's 3rd and 9. I've already got the first down, but listen, I'm not taking any prisoners. I am scoring right here, right now. And you can see just the acceleration, because look at how many guys are around him. Look how many guys. You see a guy up here, you see a guy right there, and he just gets around all those guys. None of them can close the distance.
I saw a tweet that one of the safeties back there ran a 4.440, and they had the angle, and Lamar just blew past him.
He just blew right by him, and you can see these guys up here, they're standing on the 30-yard line. That means you have 30 yards to close out on a guy who you're already 10 yards ahead of, and you still don't catch him. So watch. He just hits that gear. He runs right by these guys. Oh, my goodness, man. That's up there with like one of his best runs of all time.
I see. We have a Titans fan in here. Who
Do
said
we
Lamar,
really?
He said Lamar still sucks. You know. Oh, King Henry.
No, tighten up. Lamar still sucks.
See, I will be respectful, but if you want to come here with a little bit of disrespect, you're king. 2,000 yards. You only got 40 against us. Hey, buddy.
40.
He had 2,000 yards. Your receiver Dyson, remember him? Would you trade those 2,000 yards for that 1 yard to win the Super Bowl? I bet you would. Bet you would.
Oh, man, the pettiness is on full display.
Hey, remember this?
I'm loving it.
Super Bowl 35? We had to beat y'all to get there. No rings yet.
King Henry, Queen Henry, trolls, Queen Henry. Yeah, man. Derrick
That
Henry,
Titan pack hitting.
That Titan pack is hitting very, very hard, Dan Wolf. Very, very hard. Shout out to Dan Wolf. He's so active on Twitter and all the social medias. That's our guy, man. Gotta love Dan Wolf.
The biggest Devin Duvernay fan I think I've ever seen. I hope Duvernay just has a breakout game so you can enjoy it. Just for you.
Right. You guys are saying, I see, the Titans fans are saying King Henry in here. Just another little stat. Every Ravens running back outperformed King Henry. Literally every single one. Even Lamar Jackson outran Derrick Henry. So, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So, with that being said, guys, like I said, I want to get into you guys' questions here. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit because I saw a question from my guy, Brian DeRosa.
Okay.
He says, do you guys fear that the adrenaline drops versus the Bills? Feels like there was so much tension going into the Titans game that made us play angry, which we benefited from. What do you think about that, Alex?
I think we're going to be the underdogs again. And I feel like we have something, to prove. We just are started, just getting started. And I think that starts with number 93, Calais Campbell. I watched his post-game interview with NFL Network, and he's like, this is just the beginning. It's not about the game. It's we fight every down. And that man deserves a ring. And he was actually mic'd up on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw the clip that Ravens posted.
Yeah, with Derek
Him
Wolf.
talking to Derek Wolf. And I think those two guys, Derek Wolf, he's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win. He was all over Cam Newton in that 2014-15 Super Bowl. So I think guys like that will, help us, kind of keep our momentum going. Don't let down. And, Lamar finally getting that playoff win. Yeah. I think, our offense doesn't really compare to, like to say the Packers or the Bills, the Chiefs, but that defense right now, we saw what it can do, and defense wins championships. So if the secondary can step it up, this could be 2000 all over again. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right about that. Let's see. So a couple people in the chat, they were saying, did you guys see what AJ Brown tweeted?
I did not.
AJ Brown, he actually tweeted a little bit of respect for Marlon Humphrey. So I can show you guys the exact tweet right here. As you can see here, I got AJ Brown. He says, well, Marlon Humphrey, he tweeted yesterday. He said, rough game for me, but I will bounce back. On another good note, good team win, and you already know victory IG Live in about 45 minutes. Tune in. AJ Brown quoted that tweet. He said, I got a lot of respect for you. Keep going, bro. So, that's good to see.
AJ Brown, one of the few, like him and Derrick Henry, I respect. Obviously, Tannehill, their coach, I don't. But that's always good to see,
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to AJ Brown. He is an absolute animal. I wish we could have gotten a guy like AJ Brown in the draft, but hey, it is what it is.
Both them Ole Miss boys, DK Metcalf and AJ Brown, had good games, but knocked out early. And you want to get into maybe playoff talk real quick of what happened? You got
Yes,
something else?
I do want to get into the playoff talk really quick. I just want to see if anybody else had
Okay.
any
Questions.
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 Chris Hall, he says, "Did y'all notice how the announcer was so anti-Lamar? It's always what he should have did."
Which one? I know Louis Riddick, he was cool. I think in the main color commentator, I know there was Brian Greasy, Louis Riddick, and somebody else. I mean, we had them for the Monday night game, so I'm not too sure. I didn't
Hmm.
notice that if there was any. I really wasn't paying attention to the commentary, to be honest.
Yeah. Just addressing that one question that we just had before. Peyton says Ravens want the Lombardi bad, so I don't think they're letting their foot off the gas
Yeah.
at all.
I hope
And I
not.
mean, I agree with that because we are just getting back to where we finished off last season. So we're going to the
Divisional.
divisional round, in which we got kicked out last season. So we're only getting started the way I look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, speaking of
Yeah,
Titans, what I
yeah.
didn't like, the way Mike Vrabel was talking to Derrick Henry. I don't know if you saw him kind of talking to him.
Hmm.
That man should be an MVP candidate. Like that was kind of disrespectful the way he was talking to him. I didn't like that. Like the thing with Derrick Henry is he can break off a run anytime. They kind of just took him out the game. Like he only had 18 carries. A man like him
Yeah.
should be getting 25, 30 easily. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, I think we were just doing such a good job at stopping Derrick Henry is that they're
Yeah,
like, okay, we got to try something different,
yeah.
And then they started throwing the ball more. And hey, at the end, they pointed out that actually Corey Davis wasn't even in the game.
And he had a
So,
great game against us in week 11. And he only
yeah,
had 2 targets for no catches. So
right.
but AJ
So,
Brown did his thing.
real quick, our guy Arlo Lucid says, "What do you think is the best way to beat the Bills?" Now, listen, guys, we're gonna do our Thursday live stream where we talk
Don't
about
miss it.
our keys to victory. Right, like you said, don't miss it. We're gonna talk about our keys to victory, what we expect from that game against the Buffalo Bills coming up on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So, with this question here, I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. Best way to beat the Bills: make Josh Allen uncomfortable.
We
Make
did that
Josh
last year.
Allen exactly. Make him look like a young quarterback. That's what
Yeah.
we need to do. Take away his first read, take away his second read. Marlon Humphrey, we looked at the film earlier. Marlon, you're going to be on Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs arguably has the best route running in the league. So you're going to have to be on your A game. He's going to have to be on his A game. But that's the way that we beat him, man. We have to put pressure on Josh Allen. We only got 1 sack on Tannehill yesterday. That's not going to cut it against the Bills with that sort of passing attack. So that's what I think is the best way to beat the Bills. Get pressure on Josh Allen. But what do you think, Alex?
That too, and their receivers, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, John Brown, secondary has to step up. We talked about how our run game has to step up with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Secondary has to step up with these receivers, these targets. So that's my biggest thing too. And last year when we played Josh Allen, we were just hitting him like crazy. I know LJ
Yeah.
Fort had a sack and a QB hit. Chuck Clark had a QB hit. He was just getting destroyed, and that's how we won. So we got to keep on doing that. But we'll get more into that on Thursday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Fatal Storm Clan, he asks us, and shout out to Fatal Storm Clan, always coming through, supporting the channel. He says, who do you think will cover Diggs, Marlowe or Marcus? He thinks that Marcus is going to cover him because he's a ball hawk. I don't know about that because Marcus Peters, while he is a ball hawk, he's a very big gambler. And if you gamble against somebody with as good a route running as Stephon Diggs, you are going to get burned multiple times. So I definitely think we're going to have not Marcus Peters, but Marlon Humphrey on Stephon Diggs. Yeah. And then of course they have like Cole Beasley as well. Bro moment
Second team All Pro.
says,
Second team All Pro, Cole Beasley.
I know he's recovering from an injury. But Bro moment says, I think that Jimmy Smith is a good matchup with Cole Beasley. He isn't the fastest, but he is still a good receiver. Physical. Absolutely. Devon Johnson says they're probably going to switch to stay fresh. Absolutely. That's what they were doing.
Like we did with our run stuffers. I think that was a big thing too. Getting those substitutions in. We didn't have the same guys in the field, which hurt us in week 11 because Calais and Big Baby were out. So it had to be the same guys in the field. That was always good to see too, Wink had a plan and executed it perfectly. Perfectly to a T. Menace to Sobriety says, Bills Mafia, shout out to you, man. If you're a Bills fan. I respect the Bills, man. The Bills are a great team. They've come a long way. So it's going to be a good game.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great game. So let's talk about some of the other games in the
R-
NFL Super Wildcard Weekend. Go ahead, bro.
Never mind. I thought Bama just scored, but overthrow from Mac Jones.
Shout out to Ohio State and Alabama for making it to the college football championship.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those players who, those will be in the NFL next year. Hopefully we get to see Justin Fields, maybe a Mac Jones in a year or two or whatever, Devonta Smith. Shout out to all those guys.
Devonta Smith is going to be a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever team gets him, they're getting a baller.
He's a freak of nature. That is for sure. But let's talk about some of the playoff matchups that went down this past weekend. There was a lot of good games. There was a lot of good games. Some games that were a little bit disappointing and lackluster, but that's how it goes. Now, first, just starting off with the Bills at the Colts game. Well, the Colts at the Bills. What did you take away from that game? What did you think of that game overall? Of course, the Bills beat the Colts.
Yeah, while we're talking about playoffs, leave what game you thought was the best in the Super Wild Card.
Yes.
Let us know what you think was, or maybe your biggest surprise upset. But for the Colts Bills, one thing I took away, Frank Reich needs to be looked at under a microscope because some of the decisions he made cost the Colts that game. The Colts could have won that game. Going forward in that 4th and goal, I mean, I get that you want to make a statement, but you're away. That's the Bills Mafia. They're rocking no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, you take the 3. I believe it would have tied it up or maybe made it a 1-point game. And that 3 points came back to haunt them in the end.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Blankenship, I get he's a meme and all, but he's nowhere near to being one of the best kickers. Boy had those glasses, better clean them off because he couldn't hit anything. Just the Bills, their offense and Gabriel Davis stepped up. Those little toe drag swag plays he made, that dude is a problem. And we got to keep our eyes on him.
Absolutely. Man, the Bills, here's my thing. The Bills and the Colts matchup, it kind of gave me a silver lining as a Ravens fan. For me, I'm thinking, hey, look, we can beat this team. We are fully capable, and that's why I have confidence, and I'm picking us to beat the Bills this week.
Tune in Thursday. Tune in Thursday for Sutton's, keys to victory and his score prediction, which he's gotten right before, off by 1 point, but damn close.
Very close, very close. So, yeah, like you said, tune in on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but it just showed me, that game showed me that the Bills are beatable, and a lot of people have been hyping up the Bills lately and making it seem like they are the team to beat. And right now they are in the AFC because some people will argue the Chiefs still are, but the Bills are as hot as anybody in the NFL. So, and if it were not for, DeAndre Hopkins catching a Hail Mary prayer in that game against the Cardinals, then they would have won 10 straight or 11 straight or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Bills are for real. Nobody's doubting that. But that game against the Colts, it definitely did show me that they can bleed and that they are human. So we can definitely beat them. That's what I took away from that game.
We got 75 people in here right now. Thank you to every single one of you. If you haven't, leave a thumbs up, drop a like, sub, share with anybody. Share with a Ravens fan, a Titans fan, a Steelers fan, a Browns fan, a Bengals fan, a Jets fan, a Jaguars fan. Hey, why not even a Rams fan? Because that was the next game, the Rams and Seahawks.
Yeah, Rams and Seahawks. That was the next game on that Saturday, where it kind of surprised a lot of people. The Seahawks were upset by the Rams. The Rams they won this game. They won this game convincingly. What did you think of that game overall? Thoughts?
So as a Rams fan, I was very, very surprised. Sean McVay solidified himself as a top 5 coach in the league. And I think it's time we have to take a hard look at the Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, QB coach tandem, because Russell Wilson does this every year. He starts off hot, gets in your MVP conversation, and kind of just dies off. I think he's a hell of a quarterback, but there might be some changes coming in Seattle soon because they have the talent. They weren't utilizing Lockett. DK Metcalf was absolutely covered by Jalen Ramsey. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey because he was doing his thing. And their defense, that's Jared Goff with a broken thumb on his throwing hand, and he was just doing his thing with them. But I was surprised with the way the Rams defense played, even without Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald got hurt, and they still were doing their thing. So the Rams-Packers is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, Rams-Packers. That's going to be one for the books for sure. I'm excited for a lot of the NFC matchups that are coming up this week.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It looks like we have an imposter in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Which we need to get rid of now. And that is... Okay, he's gone. Somebody trying to impersonate Engraven videos. Our guy
If that
Engraven.
is him, let us know.
Yeah.
If that is you, let us know, because...
No, we got him. We got rid of him.
Okay,
He
cool.
yeah. So he's
Alright,
gone.
cool.
But yeah, just talking about that that video, not that video, but that game. Oh man, those NFC playoff matchups, we are not ready for them, man. And I don't want to jump ahead, talk about the Brady Breeze matchup, but hey, man, that one is going to be one for the books. It's going to be
God,
amazing.
baby, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, God, baby. We got our Bucks fan here, but actually, the Bucks Washington game was a lot better than I expected too.
Oh yeah, shout out to Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke, yeah, he came in and did his thing. I was actually at a Buffalo Wild Wings. I have a old school Tampa Bay starter jacket. And I, in Maryland, I kind of went up closer to PA. So, there were some Washington fans there. I was surprised. I was like, maybe the Eagles fans, maybe some Steelers fans. But I could walk in and I had a lot of evil eyes looking at me with a Buccaneers jacket on. And every time the Buccaneers, scored, it got so silent. But Washington make a 5-yard catch and it just got so loud. I was like, the second time I've kind of been the odd man out in a bar situation. The first time was when the Ravens beat the Browns in 2018. That literally, nothing like being the only Ravens fan there winning the AFC North. I hope everybody can experience that. You being the only fan somewhere and you guys win, it feels amazing. It feels so good. But the Washington football team looked good. They did look good. Came up short, but Heineke, he's making a case to be a starter next year for the Washington football team.
Absolutely, he is. And Taylor, I heard the whole thing about him, supporting Trump and all that stuff.
And some old tweets came up.
Yeah, I don't know if the Washington community is gonna get behind him, especially after all of that becomes mainstream. Because if they announce that hey, Taylor Heineke's gonna be the starting quarterback for the Washington football team, people are going to take a lot deeper of a dive into, who he is and stuff like that. And things will start to come to light. Next thing you know, he's going to be on ESPN all over the place and First Take. Oh, starting Washington quarterback Taylor Heineke is whatever. So it's just going to be, I don't know. Just knowing the people from around here, I don't know if they're going to be able to get behind that and just that organization. So, yeah, we'll see, though. But let's see. Yeah. Somebody says, Mr. Footballman 52 says, who cares who he supports? Yeah, man,
I think it's more also he has some tweets that came out. I mean, like I said, I don't know if they're true or not, when they were or not. Cause, we'll see what comes out. And I know Josh Allen had some tweets come out when he got drafted. That's the thing, too, with social media. You got to watch what you tweet. Yeah. It can be the smallest thing, man. That's a lesson right now,
Yeah, definitely a big lesson. Watch what you tweet. Watch what you put on the internet, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, so getting back to these other playoff games that we had, that night game, who played that Saturday night? No, that was Washington Bucks. That's right. And the Bucks won that game.
AB, the fact AB looks good.
AB, he's the best receiver on the Bucks.
Hot take. I'm going. I have to go Mike Evans. I mean, he's not AB right now, but when fully out, they go Mike Evans. Mike Evans is such a dog. He's such a dog, man. I wish they're right. But the fact they have Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin, along with Rob Gronkowski and Cameron Brate, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones was hurt. Then they had Keyshawn Vaughn doing his thing. Buccaneers had themselves an offense.
They do.
I'm picking them against the Saints. You heard it here first.
I'll
tell you why on Thursday.
Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit more on Thursday. Getting into that Sunday round of games, of course, we already talked about the Baltimore Ravens beating the Tennessee Titans. The game after that was a little bit lackluster, to say the least. It was the Bears at the Saints. The Saints just really handled business. The Bears, Mitchell Trubisky did not look like he even belonged anywhere near the playoffs. So, yeah, not really too much to say about that one other than, what we expected to happen happened.
Yeah.
And then that night game last night.
Did you watch? Okay, I'm probably gonna get some slack for this. I actually had the stream up of the Nickelodeon Saints Bears broadcast.
Yes.
I mainly did that because Nate Burleson was one of the color commentators, and I think he's one of the best. You know, I love Good Morning Football. But what I didn't like is that they had some people who they weren't educated about the game. It kind of just gave the whole kid factor. I get you try to be, for kids and all, but some of the things I was like, it's kind of cringe to watch. It was hard because they had a pun like, oh, look how high that ball's going. I'm like, come on now. I'm like, don't do this. But I get what they did.
Trying to get the kids involved. It's for the kids, It's for the kids.
But what I didn't think about was the hot mic going off and the
F-bomb.
The F-bomb was on Nickelodeon. And there was a fight.
Oh, man.
There was a fight. There was the F-bomb thrown. It's everything they didn't want on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, the fight was funny because they brought up like a graphic of like SpongeBob, like a fight from SpongeBob right next to it.
Oh, okay.
And just like comparing the two, it was hilarious how like they were kind of making a joke out of the whole thing. But yeah, man, that was a pretty fun. I thought it was really cool how they did that with Nickelodeon and the NFL. They kind of partnered together for that. But
I wish they had that when we were younger. I mean,
that would have been cool. A real nice way to learn the game. But listen. Let's talk about that night game last night. The Steelers versus the Browns.
Hey, I know. Hey, if you're in here, I'm not mad if you just click away. I get it, Steelers fans. I'm sorry. Click away now. Click away now.
It was bad. It was bad, and it was bad early. Like, it was. I started watching the game when, it was scores already 7-0. I turned the game on. I was like, damn, it just started. I thought it just started. Yeah. And the Steelers were already down 7-0, and I saw what happened. And Pittsburgh, they had that messed up snap, and then it went over Ben Roethlisberger's head. Ended up being a touchdown for the Browns, and then he comes right back out. There was an interception. They end up scoring another touchdown. It's 14-0, and then the Browns end up scoring again. And at 21-0, I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So we're gonna be playing Buffalo next weekend. That's how this is gonna go. And the Steelers lost to a Browns team without a head coach, without an offensive coordinator,
without a great lineman in Joe Bitonio.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. What happened to the Steelers, man? I don't get it.
They pulled the Ravens from last year.
Yeah.
Ben is 23-2-1 against the Browns, now 23-3-1. That's where I think it starts. And I was watching, so Good Morning Football today. I always watch it. And Kyle Brandt brought up a great point. Rewatch that fumble, like the bad snap. Ben didn't even go for it.
Right.
Kick that out the end zone. Give up a safety rather than 7 points. He just he let James Conner go for it. It's like, Ben, you're the bigger guy. You're getting paid $40-some million to play the game, and you don't even give any type of effort. Come on now. Come on.
Right. And it was very crazy to hear like how Big Ben was talking after the game as well. We'll talk about that in a little more, but first we have a little guest here backstage that we're gonna bring on here. Yeah. I don't know if you peeped, Alex. I guess you haven't been checking your phone. But,
my phone charging, bro.
Oh, okay. But we got a little guest here. It is our guy, none other than the Engraven Videos.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to him, man. What's good, Engraven?
What's going on, yo? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? I mean,
appreciate y'all having me on, man, especially this short notice. But I guess the imposter, he didn't do all bad. He did do some good because he promoted some positivity, so that's fine. But don't try to be like anybody else. Be yourself.
Be yourself, Yeah,
much
absolutely. Everybody in here is hyped to see you, man. Chris Hall, Devon Johnson, wrestling. Yeah, everybody's hyped to see you, man. But yeah, how are you doing, Engraven? Like, we appreciate you for coming on such short notice. Man. Thank you so much. Just how are you feeling as a Ravens fan after that win yesterday, that dub?
Tired, just tired. I don't have my voice back all the way.
Yeah.
Still probably got a couple more days. But before I get it back all the way, I drank some tea. I took some the throat lozenges, but it's getting there. It's better than it was earlier today, but it's still rough. It's still really rough, but it was worth it because the Ravens, they took care of business. One of the best things from yesterday, from the game, was that they stuck to themselves. Even though being themselves wasn't really working initially with the run game, they still stuck to it throughout the entire game, especially with Lamar Jackson. But and I was happy to also see Greg Roman make second half adjustments. When they came out passing to the flats and all that, I was like, okay, Greg Roman, I'm impressed. But it's just nice to get that win, get that monkey off of his back. And I think it could be sort of like with Joe Flacco. Because remember, Joe Flacco, his biggest monkey on his back was that he could not beat Ben Roethlisberger. First, it was that he couldn't beat the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger as a starter. Then it turned to he couldn't beat the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger as a starter in Pittsburgh. So after he got those monkeys off his back, end up finally winning the Super Bowl. That was a year later, but Lamar might as well get all the monkeys off his back this year, all in one.
So we're saying,
but with Lamar, I'm just glad that narrative is temporarily over till they change it to the next narrative. But I was just happy to see that, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, and they're already coming up with new ones on my YouTube channel. Already coming out. He didn't throw 2 passing touchdowns. They're gonna come up with new ones. It's coming.
Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to just speaking of that Ravens win, I have a question for Simply AS10 and Engraven Videos, and then the rest of the Rain Gang who are watching live right now. And even if you're not watching live, make sure you comment after the fact. Let us know your questions, comments, and concerns. We're going to get to all of those in the next episode on Thursday. Listen, guys, I have a question.
Okay.
Who would you guys' MVP from yesterday's game be on the Ravens? Who's you guys' MVP? I'll start.
Okay.
I'll start. So my MVP from yesterday's game is going to have to be Marquis Hollywood Brown. And it may seem like an obvious one. Some people might go for a different player, but Marquis Hollywood Brown, he really stepped up and proved to me. He proved me wrong. Ever since we drafted Hollywood Brown, my biggest criticism on him is that he shies away from contact. He doesn't fight for extra yards and, that sort of thing. But yesterday we saw him catching the ball. We saw him turning upfield. We saw him fighting for those extra yards, something that you love to see out of your number 1 receiving pick. That was the first receiver that we took in the draft, the other year. So, you love to see that, especially in a playoff game for sure. I see a couple people in the chat here saying a couple different names. But before we get to those, names, I want to ask these guys here on the panel. I'm going to start with Simply AS10, then let Engraven give his share. But Alex, who did you think was the MVP of yesterday's game against the Titans?
Didn't play a lot of snaps, made his presence known. Pernell Mcphee. Man, 20 snaps, 6 tackles, and he brought the energy. That's what we signed him up for. That vet guy brings his energy and just does his thing. I was surprised the way he played, because I would have thought maybe you say Calais gets those type of plays, maybe Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, but Pernell and doing his thing. I got to go number 90, the vet, the OG.
Pernell McPhee. Yeah, absolutely.
I would say Lamar, and it may seem like an obvious answer, but I would have to say Lamar Jackson, because he being down 10. And again, the narratives, them narratives were flying yesterday, especially with it being a playoff game, with them going against the Titans again, with them apparently being the team that had the blueprint on Lamar, that put out the blueprint on how to beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Right.
And with Lamar being down by multiple scores, they came back. Yeah. They came back, and he never looked flustered. He never looked all frustrated or anything like that. And even when stuff wasn't going his way, because the first 3 and out, that wasn't his fault. He threw a first down pass, but Mark Andrews just dropped it. But now that interception, that was definitely his fault. But he never let his emotions take over. He never let the situation get the best of him, and he kept going. And on that touchdown run, that dude, he was like, "Nah, I'm getting to the end zone. I don't care how many Titans defenders there are. I don't care for Dory Jackson, who is as fast as he is. Nobody's catching me. I'm getting to the end zone." And then we saw a lot of runs throughout. Even with Lamar, we know we've seen it when he keeps getting stopped. He can get frustrated, and I mean, you can understand why he would get frustrated, because why wouldn't you get frustrated? Because whatever you're trying to do is not working. And a lot of times when he would have his keepers, Titans would stop him. They were all over Lamar. But when he would go, he would go. And in the game yesterday, I noticed that with him, And he's not somebody that's like Hollywood, like Sutton was just talking about with Hollywood. He a lot of times he would shy away from contact, and I always talk about it when we streaming the games and I see Hollywood actually get tackled. I feel like we've only seen him get tackled maybe like 10 times this entire season.
Yeah.
Hollywood never gets tackled, man, ever, because he's usually running out of bounds or he falls to the ground or whatever. But Hollywood was going for them extra yards, but Lamar was like really going for them extra yards yesterday, like on a couple of runs where normally Lamar would run out of bounds just to avoid the hit. Yesterday, right before he would run out of bounds, he would take another step, make a quick little juke move, and get like 2 or 3 more yards, and then go out of bounds. And I could understand why, because it was a playoff game. And he just had that fight in him, man. He had that fight in him. Of course, after he scored his touchdown, he said some words that weren't so team keep it clean, but he let it be known like, hey, I ain't messing around today. And even when Malcolm Butler gave Lamar Jackson to Earl Thomas, that's when we were down by 10. We were down by 10, and Lamar was like, okay, bet. Yeah, Lamar cashed in. I loved it, man. I loved it. But if I could sort of cheat a little bit and go do one for offense and do one for defense, it would be Pernell Mcphee. It would be Pernell Mcphee. And if I could cheat a little bit more, I would really give it to Wink. Because what I noticed from him yesterday was that he made, usually with Wink, he makes the second half adjustments, but he made his adjustments in the second quarter. Because in that first quarter, we saw A.J. Brown run across the middle of the field wide open. We saw one of their tight ends, not what's his name, Jonu, I forgot what the first string tight end's name, but a backup tight end. We saw him run across the field wide open in the first quarter. But after that, nothing. Nobody was wide open anymore. All the catches were contested. Everybody was right on. So whenever a Titans player would catch the ball after the first quarter, Ravens players were right on them, man. There was no space. There wasn't all this separation, anything like that. So if I could give it to a coach, it would be Wink.
Yeah. So we got 100 viewers. So thank you to everybody in here. Okay. Appreciate that. Big time. Going on to that too. 22 players had a tackle yesterday. 22, and you can field only 11 players. That's crazy. 22 different players. So that the defense did their thing. You love to see it.
Absolutely, they did. And if I was going to give a shout out to just, you know how we have the Wolf Pack with Morgan Cox and Justin Tucker and Sam Cook, but we also have the Monstars and Derek Wolf, Calais Campbell, and Brandon Williams, and they showed up and showed out yesterday. And listen, I heard a stat earlier this morning. Derrick Henry, he was hit about, I think they said 11 times out of the 18 times that he carried the ball. He was hit 11 times, behind the line of scrimmage. That means 61% of the time that he ran the ball, he was getting hit before he even got back to the line of scrimmage. And that is something that, it speaks volumes to not only Wink, but of course just the guys in the trenches on the defensive line, winning their one-on-one matchups. So big shout out to, Calais Campbell, Derek Wolf, Justin Madubuike. I talked about him a little bit earlier. He's not a part of the Monstars officially, but he's going to be making a case here for himself here very, very soon, because he is a third round, pick, a rookie, doing this and impacting the game the way he is. So shout out to those guys there. I know you guys can probably hear my dog barking in the background. I apologize for that. But let's see. I wanted to see here, like Alex said as well, we have over 100 people in here watching. Shout out to everybody watching live. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and make sure you give a sub to Engraven Videos as well if you're not already subscribed.
Come on, you're missing out.
You got to.
Actually, I want to ask you about your streams, man, because those streams, they pop off. You guys have fun in there.
Oh yeah,
man. Somebody put the timestamp. The way you celebrated that Lamar touchdown,
man,
I was the exact same way, jumping up and down. I just couldn't contain myself. Came something from nothing.
Cause it's crazy, man. Like you just, especially like as a Ravens fan, that stuff hits different. Like as a football fan, we appreciate nice touchdowns and fun touchdowns, but as a Ravens fan and just having watched Lamar from jump and having heard all the doubters from jump and having heard all these people judge Lamar differently than they judge every other quarterback from jump, it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. So with Lamar, especially with him being from South Florida too, that helps a lot. But with Lamar, it almost feel like you like watching watching one of your close boys, or even watching one of your cousins or something. So when he does good, you get extra hype. Especially because everybody, well, not everybody, but so many people keep saying how he can't do good, how he can't do this, how he can't do that, how he'll never do this, how he'll never do that. And to just see how he just hit it, man. He hit it and got to that end zone and ain't nobody touch him. Well, they gave him that little baby push at the end. But to see him have success and have success in the playoffs too is just different, man. It's just different. So when he got that touchdown yesterday, all them emotions come out, all of them. And then, of course, with Marcus Peters, when he got that pick, what made that pick extra special wasn't even the fact that, because in the chat, we have a lot of fun in there in the live streams and stuff. Like, there was a drive before where I thought I was calling out that Deshaun Elliott was going to get an interception. Because I was like, either Deshaun Elliott's going to get an interception or Chuck Clark going to get it. With Deshaun Elliott on third down, he didn't get an interception, but he got a big hit on a tight end that forced an incompletion. So Titans punted the ball. But then the next drive, I was like, okay, Marcus Peters, he's going to be the one to make a play. He's going to get an interception on this drive. It's going to be MP. And then when he got the pick, like I was happy that I got it right, but that I didn't really care about that. The most I cared that like, oh, we almost about to win. It wasn't official. What I got a little worried about, I was like, oh no. I really hope the dancing on the logo doesn't come back to bite us, because that backed them up, 15 yards? Yeah. And the Titans still had 3 timeouts. I was like, oh, please.
And then we threw the first play. Incompletion.
See, I didn't have a problem with that. I like
really?
That. I loved it because it reminded me of the Chiefs. And it was the Ravens trying to put it away. And it wasn't a dumb play. Lamar just threw it a little bit high. Yeah. And I love the play call because it was aggressive. It wasn't them just being like, okay, let's run out the clock. But it was them trying to really put it away. And I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was probably one of the best moments. I think the best moment of that game was definitely that touchdown run by Lamar in the first quarter. I think that was probably, and you saw those emotions come out of Lamar when he said, the not so team keep it clean stuff at the end. You saw those emotions pour out of him because that's a very big moment. Listen, leading up to that game, all the narrative said, listen, Lamar Jackson can't come back. He can't win a playoff game. He can't do this. He can't do that. So for him to go out there and just physically just prove people wrong and, score that touchdown and just kind of say to them, listen, we're not here. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to wilt. We're not going to fold. And I'm going to carry this team on my back. That was a career defining moment from Lamar Jackson that we saw yesterday. And we'll be talking about that play for a while. But let's see here. I wanted to ask another question to you guys just real quick. I think we touched on this a little bit earlier. Me and Alex did, but I wanted to get Raven's point of view on this. We play the Bills this week. Yeah. So, and I know that all of the Ravens, well, most of the Ravens YouTubers, we really haven't gotten into doing our official previews for that game just yet. Yeah. So, I don't want to give away too much, but just like when y'all found out last night that we would be playing the Bills, what was the first thing that came to mind? The first thing that came to mind that the Ravens need to do in order to beat the Bills? And we have some people in the comment section kind of sounding off, asking the same thing. So I wanted to get you guys' take on that. And Raven, I'll start with you. What is one thing, just off the top of your head, one thing that we need to do in order to beat the Bills this Saturday?
Stop that 5th round pick from Maryland. To stop him, Stephon Diggs, because Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, that's Josh Allen's guy. That's his guy. Anytime Josh Allen drop back, he's looking for number 14. He's looking for him from jump. And if Josh Allen starts scrambling around, he's still looking for 14 because he know that Stephon Diggs can make the play. Yeah. Now with Stephon Diggs, I don't feel like we're going to be able to stop him the whole game. I would love to, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I feel like they just cannot let him consistently go off. He's gonna get his. He's gonna get his. Yeah. This is why I feel like it may be you can't have Marcus Peters or Marlon Humphrey on him the entire game. But this is where I feel like Marcus Peters, he would have to play a really smart game though, because Marcus Peters, he's very risky. He's a very risky cornerback. But with Marcus Peters, I feel like if he was on Stephon Diggs, then he's gonna get opportunities to get interceptions. because the ball is guaranteed to come Stephon Diggs' way. And
true.
Marcus Peters he's no lockdown corner. He's not a corner that's gonna completely take a receiver out the game, but he can scare quarterbacks because he has that ability to make that interception, to cause that turnover. So this could be a big game for Marcus Peters, but I think it's also another way that the Ravens could beat the Bills. We're gonna need excellent and amazing safety play from Chuck Clark and Deshaun Elliott. Reason being because with Josh Allen, this dude could go like that, and that ball will go 70 yards down the field, probably about 80 yards. It doesn't take anything for this dude to just flick his wrist, and the ball's already on the opposite end of the field.
Yeah.
So the safeties, they're gonna have to watch out for that extra close. I know Zach Moss, he's out. Their backup running back, he's out for the remainder of the postseason. So obviously not celebrating an injury, but that obviously does favor the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I'm confident in them with their run game. In their run defense, excuse me. But yeah, the safeties, they're gonna have to have a big game, and then the secondary as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex?
Yeah, I saw did you watch the Colts Bills game by any chance? Raven?
Sure did.
Their run defense like suspect. Jonathan Taylor, he was having his way.
Yeah, he ran all over.
Yeah, that's our big thing. Gotta control the game, like you said, Sutton, last week. Keep them off the field.
Yeah.
Just keep them off the field, play how we play, and that's how we win games. JK Gus. Gus had the big clutch runs in the fourth quarter. JK had the runs that we needed. So that's my thing too. And also hit Josh Allen. He's like a younger version, more mobile version of Ben Roethlisberger. That's why I think of him as.
Yeah, honestly, man, and to both of you guys' points, hit Josh Allen. I see a lot of people in the chat saying run the football. Absolutely. There's two big things. We need to run the football and control time of possession and become the timekeepers of this game. Also, when they're on offense, we need to get them off the field quickly. And I know I was talking about it a little bit earlier, but Josh Allen, listen, man, Josh Allen is proving to be one of the best quarterbacks out of that 2018 class up there. He's 1-2 with Lamar, as of right now. So we need to shorten his quarterback clock, his comfort clock. And I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but the quarterback clock is basically the amount of seconds a quarterback feels comfortable sitting in the pocket before he knows pressure is coming and he knows that he needs to get that ball out. If we can shorten that time, so he can't go through his first read, his Stephon Diggs read, and then come back to his Cole Beasley read and then go to his Dawson Knox read. We need to be able to make him uncomfortable before he's making all of those reads and force him to make mistakes. He's still a young quarterback. All young quarterbacks make mistakes.
Yeah.
We need to force him to make mistakes, get their offense off the field, and then control time of possession when we are on the field. So, yeah.
Quick update, 14-7, Bama, Devonta Smith just scored a touchdown. What's new?
Okay. But yeah, guys, so we've talked about Ravens. We've talked about other playoff games. Just real quick previewing, I want to kind of get you guys' take on the whole Brady Breeze matchup that's coming up this Sunday. They play on Sunday. Yeah, they play on Sunday. Who do you just early predictions? Who do you guys have winning? I know my guy Alex said he's got the Saints. Or no, he's got the Bucks winning in an upset. He's got the Bucks winning in an upset. I have the Saints personally. And Graven, who you got?
Yeah, I think this will be where the Bucks actually get their revenge. Saints, their offense recently, I know, but it was against the Bears. But Bears they got a decent defense. But their offense, I don't know. Yesterday, I know they did well, but they just look kind of dry to me. I think that would be the best word for me to describe it. And with Drew Brees, he's getting there, man. He's getting there. A lot of times he shows more age recently than Tom Brady does. And I know he's coming off the injury where he banged up his ribs. So maybe he may not be completely healthy from that. But yeah, I think the Bucks get him. I think the Bucks, with the upset, because it would be an upset because the Saints swept them this year. But I think the Bucks end up getting the best of them.
Yeah, that's my big thing too. You don't beat a team 3 times in 1 year, and that's why I don't want to see the Browns if they were to beat the Chiefs, and if we were to win, because beating a team 3 times in 1 year is just hard enough. So we beat them too. So I got the Bucks.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna look through the chat here just a little bit, see what we are talking about at this point. KLA Sports, he says the Bucks get their revenge. The Saints fail in the playoffs in these games, and Brady is out for blood. You're right. I mean, the Saints, they always do find a way to screw things up, or they get screwed over in some way. It just seems to never fail.
I forgot about
in the playoffs. Yeah. So sometimes it's most of the time it's in the conference championship game. So we'll see if they hold up in the divisional round this season. But yeah, that's something to think about, man. The Saints always shoot themselves in the foot, or just something happens, and it's just like, I don't know.
And
Brady versus
it's always
Brady,
the most heartbreaking, like stuff that as a fan, it hurts bad, because it was that Minneapolis Miracle, the Stephon Diggs. Speaking of Stephon Diggs, that the other one, I think last year was the overtime. They lost in overtime.
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the whole Rams, the pass that one was just the pass interference, that no call, but.
Yeah, that was just ugly.
That's
all right, guys. But listen, you guys have been joining the Purple Rain podcast, watching the Purple Rain podcast live for almost the past 2 hours. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through and watching this episode. We've got one more little segment before we get on out of you guys' hair tonight. We hope Engraven will stay for this last little segment. I don't know if he's ever done anything like this on the Ravens podcast before, but we'll see. But this is the segment where it's just a question segment. So everybody in the chat, you can ask us any question. If you want to, get to know us a little bit more, if you want to know just random fact, I don't know, this or that. But I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to ask the whole chat a question. And hopefully the chat, they start throwing out, random questions as well. And we can just keep it going like that. But my question for you guys is this. When I go out to eat, right, and I want to order chicken wings, for example. I'm a chicken wing kind of guy. I like chicken wings. You guys like chicken wings?
Of course.
So when you go out, do you prefer to order bone-in wings or boneless wings? Now, this is a topic a lot of people argued about for a long time. I wanted to get you guys' take on it. Everybody in the chat, I want your take on it as well. I'm gonna start though. Listen, when I go out, I prefer boneless wings, and I may get slandered for this. I prefer the boneless wings over the bone in. Listen, here's my reasoning. You gotta stay with me. Stay with me here. So I'll go out to eat, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll be watching the game or something like that, and I'll have my nice boneless wings there, and I can eat my boneless wings if I want to with a fork. I can take the fork, stick it in the boneless wing, dip it in some sauce, put it right in my mouth. I don't have to worry about picking it up, worrying about which part I want to bite, flipping the wing around, and then I might miss the game. I might miss a play or two or something like that. With boneless wings, it's a lot easier. I don't got to worry about picking up my glass, cleaning my fingers before I pick up my glass. All those different factors that factor in for me. I'm a boneless wings kind of guy. But for you guys, man, do you guys like the bone in or the boneless? I'm going to guess bone in by you guys' reaction.
If you can boneless wings, you might as well just order some chicken nuggets and have some dipping sauce on the side, man. I'm bone in. I mean, I still eat boneless too, but with the bone in, it's different, man, because you got the wings and you sitting there and about the whole eating with a fork. No, man. You ain't eating no wings with a fork. Put that fork down, man. Use your fingers. And if you got to pick up your glass, either you pick up your glass with a dirty hand or you go. That's one of the best parts about eating wings is licking the sauce off your fingers. So I'm bone in.
When I'm at home, bone in, but when I'm out, I gotta go boneless.
See, thank you, Alex.
Whenever I go out, I'm always wearing something white. I'm like, if I get some sauce on here, I'm gonna. So I gotta go bone in at a restaurant, boneless anytime else.
Oh boy,
yeah,
good though.
They're just a lot more convenient that way, honestly. So,
but they are chicken.
But I mean, and I'm not saying here's where a lot of people may be getting me wrong. I'm not saying that I hate bone-in wings, because I don't. I love bone-in wings. But when I'm out and about, say I'm at a restaurant or at a bar or something like that, I want my boneless wings because I can eat and pay more attention to the game and less attention to the food. So that's my reasoning there. But we have somebody else in the chat who asked a question, kind of springing off from this. Devon Sanders, he says, when you're getting those bone-in wings, do you like flats or do you like drums?
Flats. Flat's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Flats
agree.
it's easier, so much easier.
I'm a flats kind of guy for sure. See, with the drums though, you bite into a drum, you're gonna bite into like 57% chicken. You know what I mean? And then the other half of it is gonna be like fat or like gristle or something like that. And I'm just not a fan of that. You know, with flats, you know what you get into. You bite it, you flip it, you bite it again. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So I'm a flats kind of guy.
Oh man. Yeah, flats. They just see with flat. And I know you're talking about you want to pay attention to the game and stuff. If you have whether drumstick or flat, all you got to do instead of looking down and eating, look up at the TV and eat just like that, and you'll be straight. You ain't got to worry about it.
Oh, I feel it. But you know, you still gotta watch what you biting when you bite into a chicken wing, because you never know what you could be biting. You could bite some bone, or you could bite your finger. You never know. So that's that question. Peyton Elizabeth, she says, "What made y'all start loving football?"
Wow, I can go on this one. My parents, for sure, mostly my dad. Every time the Madden would come out, first day, we had it for the PlayStation 2. You know, the old Ravens, you know, Chester Taylor, Travis Taylor, the Mike Anderson, you know, Kyle Bowler. That is when I started loving. Yeah, it was hard, but he's the main reason why. Not every single game I watched with my pops, he's when he got me into it.
Yeah, Kyle, I should have been a bowler.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say for me, playing Madden a lot, but then when I started playing football with my boys, because I never not once played organized football at all. Never played in high school, never played for a team and anything like that. Only played street football. But once I started playing street football with my boys that I grew up with, that's when my love for, because I had liked football, but I hadn't really loved football. And then, but over time, the more and more we played, the more I began to love it. And then that translated to NFL too, and just start loving it that much more. And as time went on, just really developing more of an understanding of the game, that helped me love it that much more too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. I would
What about
say
you?
for me,
for
me, I would definitely say just because of my dad was a big influence on me watching football growing up. He is a huge Washington football team fan. And growing up, you know, I didn't want to be a fan of the same team my dad was. I was like, you know, I want to be different. I want to switch it up. So just a little fun fact for you guys. I actually started off liking football as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Okay.
I did. And this was when I was a really young, like super young. I don't know, even maybe like 5, 6 years old. I don't know. But I really liked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stadium so much. Like, I thought it was so cool how it was like kind of like a boat concept. Yeah. And then every time they would score the touchdown, the cannons would fire off and everything like that. I thought that was dope. So that's what really got me into it. You know, just my dad, and then just start watching it over the years. And then eventually I became a Ravens fan and just never looked back. So, yeah, that was how we all got into football.
Speaking of the video games, NFL Street, those old NFL Street games went crazy. On the PlayStation 2.
Oh, absolutely.
They need to remake them. They were so much fun.
Yeah. Let's see. NFL Productions, he says Rams or Packers? I've got the Packers.
Yeah, Packers. I think it should be a close game, but yeah, Packers.
Heart says Rams, head says Packers. But yeah, I'm going Packers.
Got the Packers all day, every day, Chief. Not going to lie to you. Let's see. What else do we have here? I have... Dapper says, who's the better opponent for the Ravens, Bills or the Chiefs? I know they're already facing the Bills, but still. The better opponent for the Ravens. So I'm guessing you're saying the better opponent for us to match up against in our favor?
That's what I'm thinking too.
In that case, it would definitely be the Bills. They just have way less weapons than the Chiefs do, obviously. So I would have to say the Bills are a much more comfortable matchup for the Ravens than the Chiefs. You guys?
Yeah. Everything you just said, like Bills have that ability to get some quick points, but Chiefs, they can get it even quicker than quick. Yeah. So yeah, I would say Bills.
Yeah, Bills, but I wanted the Chiefs, to be honest. I really wanted them round 2, but we'll see them round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're gonna take a couple more here before we wrap it up for tonight. KLA Sports says, Engraven, big fan. What do you think about the Doug Peterson firing?
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, Doug Peterson out from the Eagles. I think that they chose Carson Wentz over him, and maybe even they still get rid of Carson Wentz. We'll see, because that's a lot to handle. That's a lot to maintain. It's very tricky because he did win a Super Bowl just a few years ago with the team, but like they always say, the NFL is the "what have you done for me lately" league, and the latest thing that he did was show a clear display of tanking for the world to see. Because this wasn't like this was just your normal 1 o'clock game, week 17. Oh, nobody
National
cares
TV.
about it. No, everybody was watching. So the fact that you knew everybody was watching and you still chose to do what you did by removing Jalen Hurts and also not even playing half of your starters, that showed, okay, is he really trying to win? We know, he could have been going for a higher draft pick, but now that draft pick gonna belong to somebody else because you ain't coaching him no more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Alex, you got to follow up on that, or?
The Eagles are a team that I don't know who they can build around. I mean, obviously Hurts, but is Ertz gone? Is Alshon Jeffrey gone? Is Jason Kelsey gone? Their line needs a lot of work. They got Jalen Reagor, who I think is going to be good. But what do you take with that number 6 overall pick? Do you go line, try to get a weapon for either Wentz or Hurts? And then, that defense, you got Slay. But between the Eagles and the Steelers, those two teams have a lot of work to do. A lot of work.
Yeah, because they got so much money tied up, which is understandable because you've had success with those guys, but they got so much money tied up in the quarterback position, but you have a lot of questions about your quarterback moving forward. So,
Right. Just a couple more things before we get out of here. Laurent Frisson, shout out to you, my guy. He is the genie of the week. Because last week, he told us on this very podcast, he said that J.K. Dobbins would have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry. Me and Alex were like, nah, not going to happen. And it ended up Derrick Henry only had 40 yards rushing. I'm not sure how many J.K. had, but I'm sure it was more than 40.
I want to say 48.
Okay.
I think
outgained him. Hey.
And a touchdown.
Yeah. So big shout out to Laurent Frisson. We hope to see you around here a lot more with your genius predictions. Make sure you come back on Thursday and give us some genie takes for us, please. And then let's see the last question I'm going to put up here for you guys. And if I didn't get to your question tonight, I am so sorry.
Leave it in the comments.
Put it in the comments below, and we're going to get to it. I promise. Sis, our guy Sis, he says, Engraven, you heard what Chase Claypool said about the Browns. If not, he's trending on Twitter for calling them trash and saying they're getting clapped next week. What did you think? What did you make of the whole, of course, the Steelers getting stomped by the Browns, and then Chase Claypool coming out and saying what he's saying on TikTok today, and then Juju as well.
Yeah, that was just I didn't see what Juju said, but I did see the Chase Claypool. He said that they're gonna get clapped by the Chiefs next week. I just thought it was just he's obviously upset that they lost. He's upset that they lost. But it's like and he's young, super young. He's a rookie. So you got to keep that in mind. When we were younger, we don't process things the same as when we're older. But Chase Claypool, I just felt like it was just sort of him being like a sore loser. And him just not wanting to really accept the defeat and not wanting to give the Browns their credit. I think that's what it was the most. It's funny because that reminds me of Eric Ebron, because Eric Ebron, he recently, he said before they played the Browns, he said that they were all chilling. Like in week 17, because all the starters of the Steelers, they didn't play. He said in week 17, they were chilling and they were just relaxing because he said they let the Browns in the playoffs. And he said that they did that because they didn't want to play the Ravens. But,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, because they didn't want to play the Ravens.
Hey, and the Steelers' backup showed more heart than the Steelers' starters too. That's
also a fact. Yeah, but that is going to do it for us tonight, guys. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Listen, it's been a great episode, and we appreciate Engraven Videos for just coming through on a whim, just last minute. We just asked him to come on. He said sure, so he's the most dedicated, Ravens YouTuber that we have in the community. So just a big shout out to you again, man, and just keep doing what you're doing. We all appreciate you. We all respect you. We all have, an enormous amount of love for you and what you do for the Ravens community. So shout out to you and thank you for joining us, bro.
I appreciate y'all having me on. We're going to have to get y'all back on the channel again, do another little Ravens roundtable, the group podcast again.
Yeah.
We're going to get y'all back on for sure, man.
A lot of our viewers have actually been asking us to do like a group stream with like, you and Joe and, Sonny, all those guys. So,
Okay.
maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get that going soon. Maybe you might have heard it here first. Purple Rain Podcast.
So yeah, we had to check everybody's schedule and see about something, man, because it is a kind of big game coming up this week. So we'll see though, man.
Absolutely. And just shout out to the entire Rain gang for coming through tonight and supporting in full effect. We appreciate all you guys. If you're still watching live, you are amazing. Like the video if you have not already. Subscribe if you have not already as well. And if you have not already checked out Team Keep It Clean, our guy Engraven Videos channel, check him out as well. We didn't expect him to be in this episode tonight, so after this I'm going to put his link to his channel in our bio. So if there is anybody that subscribed to us that's not subscribed to Engraven, which there shouldn't be a whole lot, you guys can trickle in and subscribe to him as well. But yeah, this has been episode 16 of the Purple Rain Podcast. I am your boy Sutton Def. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. And Alex as well. You want to go ahead and outro yourself, bro?
You can find me on Twitter at AlexSoberman_ and on Instagram simply as10.prod.
All right. And then Engraven, let us know where we can find you on socials.
You can find the YouTube, the Twitter, Instagram. Everything is Engraven Viz. It's Team Keep It Clean. Appreciate y'all again, man.
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Thank
Yes, sir. And Alex, you want to go ahead and close us out?
And as always, feels really good to say this because I can say, Pernell Mcphee was my most valuable Raven. Stay positive, test negative.
And that's it. We're going to catch